Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast. I am Eric, your host. This is Pop Culture in the Dark. Hope everybody's ready for a fun show. Hope everybody's had a good start to the week. This is the beginning of the Tuesday night streams. We're going to be doing this all the way until the summer, in which I will reevaluate and see how things are going. Yes, the stream started a little bit earlier. I was actually shooting for 10:30. I thought I mentioned it on stream, but I guess I didn't. So you guys should know that the streams on Tuesday will be earlier than the normal streams were on Monday. So moving forward, they will be a little bit earlier on Tuesdays. So just know that. If they change, like we're going to try 11, I guess, to just be about a half an hour earlier. Moving forward, Thursday night streams will stay in their time slot. So it'll be a little weird, but Thursdays will be later. Tuesdays will be earlier. Good to see everybody in here. A couple small things before we get started. Tonight's topics, we're going to be going over a bunch of stuff with Paramount. I know some people are bored by this or they aren't really super interested in it, but I feel like it's really important that we do discuss it and talk about it because it is going to affect a lot of the stuff that we watch, a lot of the content that we enjoy, a lot of the stuff that we are engaged in. So we are going to talk about that. I get it. People tune out a little bit. I understand, but we do have some other stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about some of the God of War stuff. There's a few things, a couple of shows we're going to talk about. There's some little tidbits of news here and there. So we're going to be all over the place. Also, there is a trailer for Scary Movie 6, I think is what I saw. So we'll look at that. It's officially out now. So we'll take a look at that. But we do have someone sitting in the green room to start out with us tonight. And it is Joe from Crazy Joe Adventures, which,
Hey.
by the way, was looking through some of your videos today. It seems like you're getting some pretty good traction on your videos over on Crazy Joe Adventures.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Like I don't know where it came from, but just out of nowhere, some of these videos are really taking off. Oddly enough, it's never the ones I think it's going to be, though. Like I really thought my Netflix house video was going to be a big one. Mm-hmm. That's one of my worst performing videos.
The one I saw today, or at least the one that popped up for me, was like almost 1,000 views already before I even clicked on it. So
yeah, Zolocon.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. Also, very quick,
couple guest stars. I'm sorry, I was just going to say a couple guest stars in that video. Pixel Dan and Dan Larson both show up in that video.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, guys, go check it out on Crazy Joe Adventures. Just a quick, attention drawn to something here. This is the new board merch. So if you guys had the old one that said I'm bored, this is the design for the year. We're going to be doing blocks and colors for all of 2026. This will be available on the website, the Fourth Wall website, starting tomorrow. And I will be running a promotion for the first 7 days that this shirt is out. Right now it's just shirts, but I will move it to hats and other things as the year progresses. So keep an eye on this. But this is the new design. It's a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more fashion-y. So this is what we're going to be going with this year. There's also the Board Fam merch as well. So go check that out. It's on the Fourth Wall site. Anyway, I didn't get a chance to make the new intro today. I was going to work on one and I didn't have a moment to do it. I had so many things going on today. So starting this week, hopefully by Thursday, the new intro will be happening. So this is the thing, is a lot of people were surprised about the boycott. We'll talk about this briefly because it's not really a topic, but I have said for a while, boycotts rarely work because there's no real accountability for boycotting. The only time you will see any sort of movement on boycotts is when people actually believe in the thing that they're saying and they're not just doing it because everybody else says they're doing it. And I think the issue with the Scream movie is why people were boycotting it wasn't as obvious as they wanted it to be. So what happens is the general public doesn't understand what the boycott is, because it had to do with like all the drama that happened with the firing of, was it Melissa? Was that who it was that got fired from the original one? Melissa got fired because of her views on Palestine and Israel. Or at least I think that's what they said it was. And then they just redid them. They like basically remade the movie, everything from the ground up, script and everything changed. And so people were boycotting it for that reason. And I always tell people, if you want to do something and speak with your wallet, you are absolutely entitled to do it. It's part of like being, in the USA. and I will always support that. I think that the messaging of why people were boycotting it wasn't as obvious, and I think for whatever reason it just wasn't reaching enough people. So I didn't think the boycott was going to be successful. But I'm also shocked that it's making good money even after the opening night, because I've heard that most people did not like the movie. So,
well, here's the thing: I didn't like the movie, but I'm probably going to go see it again tomorrow night.
oh really? Are you going with somebody else?
No, I just want to take it in again and sit with it a little more.
Yeah, a lot of people. I know John Campea has a very interesting clip. Did you see the clip of him?
I saw his review where he called it one of the worst 3 movies he's ever seen, and I don't like the movie that much, and that's ridiculous.
He said he would rather sit through a Madam Web, Morbius, and Craven marathon than ever see this movie again. That's what he said.
But you see, that's all hyperbole, because none of those movies are that bad. Like, there's
I don't know
all of those. There's so much worse.
Well, but I think maybe his views on it were like, maybe his own personal views were that they were bad. But he was doing this, and of course, Robert Meyer Burnett was on the stream with him, and he was like, I'd rather goon with wallpaper or something like that, sandpaper or something along those lines. Like, he was really going off about how much he did not like the movie, and I don't have much interest in it. I haven't really watched the more recent ones, so I don't really care, to be honest. So I was never the target audience for this anyway. But again, back to Cody's comment, I didn't see enough of the outrage that we saw. Like, to put in perspective, all the stuff that's going on. By the way, thank you for the comment, Cody. Everything that's going on right now with AI, right? We've got the whole, and God, I hate talking about politics, but unfortunately, it's gonna be part of everything we talk about. Jake has just popped in. Hello, Jake.
Welcome. Hi, what's up?
We're just talking about Scream and boycotts and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. We haven't really gotten into any of the
everybody's favorite topic.
Yeah. So let me tell you guys what a successful boycott looks like. We just had one over the weekend, right? So Claude AI the government was trying to get them to install their AI into surveillance software, so that they would have this AI system that controlled drones and was able to track people. And Claude, the owners of Claude, said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to take part in that. And so they backed away from the deal. And then OpenAI decided that they were going to agree with the conditions. And now there's a crash out on social media because so many people have canceled their their $400, $500 subscriptions to them because of this reason. A lot of companies have dropped them because there's a million. Look, if you're going to use AI, there's a million options right now. There's so many different AI bots you can use for business that you can pick all kinds of different ones. But the early adopters just got used to the ones that they had already been using, and that's the one that the government went with. And now he's been spending the last week or so on social media trying to explain why they did it and why it's not a bad thing. That is a successful boycott because the messaging was very clear. It was like, this company is working with the government to surveil American citizens. Very clean, very easy to understand. I think if your boycott requires a million hoops to jump through, and with social media, that's how it usually is, then you're going to have a harder time getting people to see your point of view. So that's my long way of answering the question there.
I'll tell you this. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just going to say the cancel Disney boycott also was very successful because it was a very simple to understand boycott. So
I'll say this. I'm very glad the boycott failed because I don't feel we should be boycotting movies right now. The industry is in trouble. The theaters are struggling. And anytime a movie is a hit, it's good for theaters. I didn't like Scream 7, and I'm very happy to see how well it's doing. I'll tell you what should have happened, and what I would have liked to have seen happen. When Melissa was fired, the actors should have stood together. I'm not disappointed that Scream 7 is performing well, but I am disappointed that people like Matthew Lillard and Nev Campbell and all these people didn't say, no, what you did to her was messed up. We're not going to sign on to your movie in the first place. Because if they had done that, it could have affected the change. Paramount could have said, oops, we screwed up here, rehired Melissa Barrera. They could have fixed the situation, but by other actors being willing to go, well, we'll take that paycheck.
But that's what makes it kind of tainted for me, right? Because like if they would have fired somebody because that person was like pro marriage equality or something like that, and they would have fired that person and then they hired people in that were willing to come and work for them after they fired someone for that reason, I would probably boycott that, because I feel like that's a issue that's important to me, more so than just any sort of capitalism, right? So that's why I would do it. And I think a lot of people probably felt connected to the issue that happened with Melissa, and so they don't want to do it as well. But again, it's their choice. I think it's your choice. If you want to personally not spend money to send a message, that is entirely okay. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I agree with that. If personally you don't want to see a movie, don't see a movie.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But I'm not going to root against a movie because I want to see I want to see my local theater.
I actually rooted against Melania.
Well,
so I mean,
you know what's really messed up? We kept reading how bad that movie was doing.
Yeah.
It did really well at my local theater. I was talking to the manager about it, and
Melania?
We were like, yeah, he's like every show's selling out, and I'm like, really? And he goes, I don't get it either. And I'm like, they've been talking about on the news how nobody's seeing it. He's like, that's not true here. This theater, it's selling out every show.
Also, there's also an issue with like censorship, right? So you look back at that movie. What was it during COVID? What was the name of that movie with Seth Rogen? The one
interview?
That was is that the one where it was about North Korea?
That was pre-COVID, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, whenever that was, I think it was like 2019. Actually, now that I think about it, but that was a situation where the censorship caused the movie to be more successful because it actually ended up more people saw it because of that.
Oh wait, are you talking about Dumb Money?
No, the one about North Korea. With,
I thought you were talking about the one that actually had characters wear masks in them.
No, I didn't. What is that called?
It's called Dumb Money. It came out like 3 years ago.
Really? I don't remember that one.
The
interview was 20. Whichever movie. Well, what is the movie I'm talking about? I can't remember the name.
The interview. The interview. It was the one where
it was 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
and
the
it
one
ended
I'm
up
about,
going direct to PVOD because they the theaters weren't going to show it because North Korea was
right. But I'm saying like that's a form. Yeah. Look, I thought it was hilarious. I think I watched it maybe twice. I don't know if I'd ever go back and watch it again, but I thought it was pretty funny when it came out.
It was worth it just for the term honey dicking.
Well, you know. No comment on that one. So I've got to figure this out. I guess we should start out with the God of War stuff because I feel like that's probably something a lot of people are talking about right now. And we can do that first. Let me get the picture. So
if talking, you mean the internet's being dumb and weird? Then yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But let me find the image here. And I had it here on my book. I bookmarked a bunch of stuff today. Actually, let's talk about this first. I don't even need to pull it up on screen, but we can talk about this. So apparently there's 2 different Game of Thrones movies being worked on right now.
Movies?
Yes, movies.
Weird.
Let me see if I can find the article here. I think it was on the Wrap. Here we go. I'll bring this up. I was trying to not have to share a screen, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to do the thing. Game of Thrones movie and works at Warner Brothers from the Andor writer.
I mean, all right.
Bo Willimon is working on a feature film adaptation of the HBO series. Now, I don't know what this is. Oh, God, of course. You know what I'm going to do? Hold on one second. I've got tricks.
I was going to say, just that sounds good.
I want to read the article, but... Go ahead.
I was going to say, you say Game of Thrones movie and Andor writer? That's a double out for me.
All right. So I don't know if I should tell people how to do this or not.
What the
Should
hell
I
is
tell
this
people how to do
background
this?
I'm seeing?
I mentioned it before. It's something I found on Google. It's
Right,
like a
but
bunch
what
of
is
different
it? Like,
It's not anything specific. It's like a person that painted something or drew something.
oh, okay.
It's like it's 16-bit. It's like an island in 16-bit with different it's like Superman and a bunch of people standing with
That's
their
what I
backs facing
thought.
the screen. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a secret here for anybody that doesn't know this. But and I might get in trouble for it, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't know if they look for this. So, if you find a site, oh God, should I do this? Is this bad? I should keep this to myself, maybe. No, I'm gonna say it anyway. I've talked about it before. A lot of these sites, like these article sites that try to get you to pay for their articles, if you turn off JavaScript, you can just read the whole page, which is what I just did.
Is that like not common knowledge?
I don't think it is because a lot of people, when I tell them that, they don't know that.
Oh.
So if you turn off JavaScript, it blocks the pop up to pay for the ad for their service.
I thought that was common practice.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm overreacting. Anyway, let's read the
How do you
article.
turn off JavaScript?
If you're on Chrome, there's a little wheel up here in the corner. I don't know. Can that show up on the screen? No, it's not showing up.
Yeah, I can Google it. We don't need to.
Well, no, there's a little wheel. I will tell everybody right now. Go to the little wheel in the corner, the little 2-line things on the end, the beginning before the address, and you click JavaScript off, and then you reload the page. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Anyway, get back to this. Game of Thrones movie in the works at Warner Brothers from Andor writer Beau Willimon is working on a feature film adaptation of the HBO series. A Game of Thrones movie is in development with House of Cards showrunner and Andor writer Beau Willimon writing the screenplay. The Rap has learned. That's about all we know right now, and as everything Thrones things could change, but the film is firmly in development. So the Page Six Hollywood was first to report the news and speculated that the story could revolve around Aegon I, the legendary Targaryen king who spawned a dynasty. And then that's pretty much it. So it's going to be like a Targaryen thing. But this is only one of two. There's another one also that somebody mentioned that is also another Game of Thrones movie. So my question is a Game of Thrones film a good idea or a bad idea?
I think it limits the storytelling. Like, I think they've worked, and granted, you can debate the quality of a certain season or a certain series, but I think just that world, that IP is better served by stories that span over the course of a season of television rather than 1 2 to 3 hour movie.
I agree with you. I think that this type of storytelling works better over multiple episodes. What about you, Joe?
Sure. I'm not interested in fantasy movies myself, but this is a popular franchise. There's all kinds of stories that can be told. Why not? Go for it. If you have a story to tell, sure.
Yeah, but what I'm just asking, like, were you a big Game of Thrones fan?
Me?
Joe? Yeah.
No. I watched like 3 seasons and bailed.
Okay. But
the main reason I bailed was because they took too long between seasons.
Uh-huh.
And when they would come back, I would realize I forgot who everybody was.
That happens to me on House of the Dragon. It's worse for me on House of the Dragon than it is anywhere else. So,
you know what show that was bad for me on? Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's another one. Anna in here says Aegon's Conquest works better as a film. If you want to tell the story, just the conquest, you do a film. I personally think it is a boring choice. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's see here. I'm trying to find that picture.
Do you have any topics planned for tonight? Like any of the bonus ones?
Not yet. I wanted to see how many people were available because it is the first Tuesday we do. So if we get another person, I'll do that. Cool. All right. Here we go. God of War. Now, this is a game franchise that's been out for a very long time. You have the original games that came out that were revolutionary in the way they played. Yep. They introduced a lot of things that modern gaming is still doing today. And people love that story. And then you fast forward to the modern God of War games. People love those as well for different reasons. So it's a very prestigious franchise. Now, Jake, I'm pretty sure, like myself, you've played God of War before.
Yeah, the old and new.
Okay. And Joe, have you ever played any of the God of War games?
No.
Okay. So Joe is going to be the target audience for this type of show because he's someone that hasn't played the games, and that's typically the way they advertise them. So that's why I'm asking this question, because we're going to look at the picture here. I want you to tell me if it makes you excited to see the show. So God of War creator says TV first look is so dumb and terrible, looks like he's shitting in the woods. Okay. Here's the first look picture. Does it make you excited here to see it based on this picture?
I mean, no, but I don't have any context.
Well, that's the thing, is the picture was released without context. So this is exactly all the context that the picture gave.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd have to show me a trailer or something. Like, that picture alone is not going to do anything for me.
Well, that's the question, is why did they release this as the promo picture? That's what everybody is wondering. Now, David Jaffe is a YouTuber. He actually streams on YouTube. I don't know if you've watched his content before, Jake, the creator of God of War.
Yeah, I got mixed opinions on that guy.
He's hit or miss for me when it comes to his takes. But one thing I will say is he doesn't really hold back on how he feels about stuff. So whether you like him or not, he's going to say what's on his mind one way or the other.
I thought his comments about this were just really stupid.
Cody, we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to go into that right after this. So David Jaffe, creator of the God of War video games, took to his YouTube channel on Saturday to slam the first look image from Amazon Prime's upcoming God of War TV show. He said the frame, which features the franchise hero Kratos and in the woods with his son, was so bad in so many ways. And here's the full thing here. I'm sure everybody's trying real hard, but it's so dumb. But let's be incredibly clear. Two things can be true. This can be a terrible image, and it is. It's so bad in so many ways, which we'll talk about in a moment. And Ron Moore is awesome, who is the showrunner. I like Ron Moore, by the way.
Oh, I'm a huge Deep Space Nine fan.
Well, then you're probably going to give the show a shot then if you like Ron Moore. This guy is a juggernaut of a talented fellow. I have absolutely no doubt it's going to be a good show. So all of this sounds pretty positive. He's like, I think the show is going to be good. That's fair. I would rather something. I almost always want something to be more of a success than a failure, even if it doesn't look good to me, only because I think it inspires more art. Jaffe added that he doesn't mind the star Ryan Hurst isn't a dead ringer for Kratos, but instead takes issue with his expression and pose in what he described as a dumb fucking image. It says, Kratos in this pose with his expression, not the guy's face, but the expression, just looks stupid. If you're going to reveal to most people a brand new character and you hope to carry your series for the first time and they've never seen this before, which is why I wanted you to give me your opinion, Joe, is this the way you introduce them? Maybe that's conscious. Maybe they're like, well, we really want to focus on is the father-son story. And if we focus on him being like Spartan Rage and all that, maybe people are like, I don't want to watch that show. Okay, maybe. But then at that point, you could find a picture that doesn't look like he's shitting in the woods because that's what the picture looks like. And here is the image. Now, I want to point out that Ryan Hurst also came out and said, don't believe everything you see on the internet. But this image was shown on the official Prime account.
I do got to say, I wouldn't have thought that my first look. But now that he said it, there is something coming out from between his legs. It's like now that he's called it out, my eyes go right to it.
The reality is that the first game in this iteration is basically a father-son story. That's the first game, essentially. So that makes sense that's what the first season would be focused on. But you mean to tell me this is the best image you could share? I don't like this image either, but I still want the show to be good. I don't know, Jake. What's your take on it?
The image itself doesn't do anything for me one way or the other. I'm still going to watch the series. I still love the games. I don't love the image. I don't hate the image. But also, this the guy, like his, I don't know, maybe this is like blown out of proportion, but David Jaffe really pissed me off with those comments because when you look
Go
further
ahead, say what you
into
got to
it,
say.
he was essentially just getting mad at like some of the newer stuff that came out past those games because the newer games, and when I say newer stuff, I mean modern games and now this, and they actually gave Kratos a lot of personality, a lot more depth, a lot more layers to his character. The show is presumably going to do that too. Oh, what's the matter, David? Are you just bitching and moaning because someone's doing what you couldn't 20 years ago? Get the fuck over it. All right, soapbox over.
All right. And we also have this. God of War developer Sony Santa Monica reportedly making action... no pop-ups. Action-focused spinoff focused on Faye, who is the wife of Kratos. God of War developer Sony Santa Monica is reportedly working on a major spinoff focused on Faye, Kratos' wife, and the mother of Atreus. Whispers of what exactly Sony Santa Monica was working on next have been growing over the past weeks, following an earlier tease by Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier. The studio's next project was not a new IP, but it might feel like one. Over the weekend, the LinkedIn profile of a writer who worked on the project was widely shared online, describing it as a new franchise within the God of War universe. So this isn't replacing the God of War story with Kratos. It's just another game, a spin-off game of that universe. Then notorious leaker Nate the Hate, gotta love those leakers, stated the game would center on the character of Faye, something IGN also understands to be accurate. Let's see. Yes, the game is set within the God of War universe, and the lead character will be Faye. Current plan reveal this year, release first half of 2027, barring any delay. And of course, we're not going to watch any of them here because fuck those guys. But the same people that that we all know, that typically goes off on this kind of stuff, is really mad that Faye, a legitimate character in the God of War series, is getting a game. They're upset about it because it's a woman.
Cry me a fucking river.
Also have Ronan jumping
Buenas noches, muchachos. How we doing?
What's up?
What's up? Echo.
Dude, oh man. I was trying to get food. McDonald's. Fucking shit was not working. You had to order either through the app or on drive-thru, and I went, fuck that.
The fact that they make you do everything on fucking terminals now is ridiculous.
It's what it is. So besides, Monopoly back in Hollywood and shit hitting the fan on the East Coast, what's new? What's the topic right now?
We're on the God of War Kratos.
Is anybody else getting an echo?
Is it me?
Yeah, I said echo. Pretty sure it's you.
Sounds like we're all echoing.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's Ronan. I can see it on his bubble.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell? Hold on. That's weird.
If you just mute when you're not talking, it'll be fine. There we go. Oh, Darren has jumped in as well. Welcome, Darren. Welcome to the stream.
Yes, missed me just getting on a damn soapbox 10 minutes ago.
What? Darren was on a soapbox?
No, I was about the whole Kratos thing.
Oh, gotcha. Anyway, so we got the God of War game with Faye as the main character. It is a spinoff within the God of War universe. I don't see any reason why this is a problem. And at this point, it's predictable. Because as soon as I saw this news pop up, I posted online, I said, cue the people making 1,000 videos complaining about this. And of course, that's what happened.
Yep.
So we can't even take a character from a game and go, hey, we're going to give them a separate game to expand their story without all of these guys losing their fucking minds. It's so it's getting to the point where it's almost like I'm almost apathetic to it, to their feelings. Like I just don't care anymore. These guys and their audiences are seeing through it as well. I think.
It's madness. I remember hearing the similar thing to when that Witcher 4, right? Trailer came out, and it was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And it's like, guys, even I haven't played the games, and I know that this is probably the next step to go in the Witcher franchise if you're gonna do more games. It's bonkers. Did you guys see where all this almost stuff came out of? Is what was the actor's name? The guy from the new games. He was meeting a fan, and a fan asked him. And I guess he didn't know that the fan had a mic on. It said, "Oh yeah, they're working on some new stuff down the line." It's like, that should probably not have leaked.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again.
All right, we're gonna drop that out, and we're gonna bring up a super chat here from Naruto, our first super chat of the night. Hope you're doing better, Naruto. I know you had a rough few weeks. So glad to see you here. $5 super chat. RIP to Darren's old gaming. Man, people miss that channel, Darren. He has a new gaming channel created, but is having issues getting it up and running. So what's going on with your new gaming channel?
So there's a thing. I had done some stuff earlier in the year for clips on another channel that I'm no longer doing. And I guess you can only put a phone number in 2 accounts in a year span. So I can't get this channel verified. I can't get it verified. This new one I'm trying to get up. So I can't post thumbnails. I can't put a video past 15 minutes.
So does that mean you can't do anything on it though? You can't.
Not really. Yeah, I'm trying to find loopholes around it. Why
don't you make a Google Voice phone number?
That's what I'm currently working on.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Because I have 3 different numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And Google Voice is the one that I have on all my devices. So that way I get messages if I'm on my tablet, if I'm on my, Chromebook, wherever I am. So that's the one I use for all of my business and work stuff. My personal one, though, is the one that I have on my main phone. I had a different phone for a while, too. It's been kind of crazy for me, but I feel your pain about this. So you can only have 2 new accounts per year.
Yeah.
With the same number. So if this would have happened to you last year, you could have done it this year and they would have accepted it.
Yeah. So I guess I have to wait. It's weird. It's kind of a weird system, but we'll find a workaround, hopefully.
So long story short, technology sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the super chat.
Just to give a small mention while we're in between topics, today is the 9-year anniversary of one of the greatest comic book films ever created, Logan. So the fact that
it's been that long?
Yep,
Wow.
9 years ago today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Love and Thunder.
On opposite day, sure.
I hurt myself today. I think it's the best comic book movie of all time. I think
it's my number 2.
Yep.
But if it's
I love you, Dark Knight. I love you, Into the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Those was a squad, but I think Logan's got it.
Yeah, it's my number 2, but if it's anybody's number 1 like it is Ronan's, I don't necessarily disagree. There's just one I prefer.
Let's see here.
Is it Spider-Man 2?
Not prepared today.
Is it Spider-Man 2? 1. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, whether you say 1, 2, or 3, it's like they all just kind of share that spot.
Back to formula.
Yep.
All right. So it's time to get into the fun news about Paramount, Warner Brothers, and all that stuff because we have so much.
All right, let me get the alcohol.
I think it's really important to talk about this, and I'm going to try and keep these as quick and as streamlined as possible. Let's start out with this one. Cinemark CEO is glad that Paramount won Warner Brothers. And it seems to me, I have a bunch of notes over here, and I did this so we don't have to read the entire article. You guys can thank me later. Let's see here.
At this point, I'm just going to thank whoever finishes the fucking thing so we don't have to talk about this anymore.
It's going to be a while. I think it's going to be a while.
I know.
Sean Gamble, who's the CEO of Cinemark, said this outcome is better for movie theaters than the alternative. And I was reading through here and doing research and trying to figure out like what the issues are, because I don't necessarily believe what he's saying, and I think it's a lot of knee-jerk reactions. So basically, the big fear that he has is that Netflix's business model has always been release movies direct to streaming and give theaters short or no exclusive window, which is because Netflix wasn't like a proper film distributor. But that's the thing. That's why I think it made more sense for them to get Warner Brothers than it did Paramount, because they have no competition in theaters. They would be coming into this with being able to release their movies without worrying about overlapping IPs, which is, we'll get to that in a moment. And he wants movies to play in theaters first, which we all know that Ted Sarandos, he already committed to that. He wants a 45-day theatrical window, and I have news for you guys. That's not the window that Paramount typically gives. Nope. Paramount typically has a 31 to 37-day window, so it's not even close to 45 days, essentially. So I don't know why he's saying this. It seems to me like there's some other reason going on behind the scenes. So basically, he thinks that Paramount still believes in theaters and Netflix might bypass theaters. I think it would be absolutely crazy for Netflix to acquire so much of Warner Brothers stuff and not put movies out in theaters. Now, you could argue that maybe they aren't as aggressive with releasing movies as Warner Brothers has been in the past, and that's a fair statement. But to assume that they're not going to put any movies out seems like an irrational fear in this situation.
Yeah, and I'd imagine there's probably a lot less of a job loss over at Netflix as well, right? Because they don't have the movie theater setup that Paramount has. But Paramount already has all their shit set up. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to get rid of, as we've seen over the last couple of days, a lot of people.
It's even worse than that. I don't know if you've seen the most recent news. We'll talk about that in a moment. But it's going to be even worse than that for a lot of their divisions. Things that would not have happened with Netflix. Because Netflix, like you said, would have been acquiring a bunch of staff that they don't normally have, because they're not making movies. They're not making video games. They're not doing the same things that, like, well, they do make movies, but you know what I mean. They're not making movies for theatrical releases. So it's a different story.
Said, hey, we didn't give any thought to the game circuit. That's not just me making shit up. They said it.
Well, we're going to get there in a second, Jake.
Yeah.
You're leading into that story here. So Gamble says that Paramount has historically supported movies that go to theaters first. He's thinking about big studio movie releases, exclusive theatrical windows. Without that, theater chains lose revenue. I got news for you, and this is also echoed by a lot of the people in Hollywood. There is no way that Paramount can keep a 30-movie guaranteed release per year and also release the Paramount films as well. So they're saying they're going to do 30 movies that come from the Warner Brothers Discovery pot. So all of the stuff they would have normally released, along with their Paramount movies.
When they said 30 movies a year, I thought they meant between the two studios combined.
They never stated that. They said, when they talked about Warner Brothers, they said they were committed to 30 movies a year with the acquisition of Warner Brothers. So it's either them playing games with words, or they're just not being specific, or however you want to look at it. Right now, the general consensus is that they are that they want to do 30 movies from the Warner Brothers side, and then their Paramount movies as well. Now, Short Car says 15 from Paramount, 15 from Warner Brothers. I never saw that interview. I looked up a lot today, so unless it's one of the... Because they've been doing a lot of interviews, so maybe there's an interview somewhere buried where they said that. But even if you were to take that out, think about this, 30 movies a year. We got 12 months a year, which means theoretically you only have enough room for about 10 movies to give them proper breathing room between films if you're a movie studio. 30 movies a year is more than double that, meaning that they would be constantly overlapping their own movies in theaters. Every month would be 2 to 3 Warner Brothers movies in theaters at the same time.
Yeah.
And they would be constantly having to compete with themselves.
And also, like, you know, we saw this with Marvel Studios over the last couple of years. If there's a mandate for 30 movies a year, that's not necessarily letting your creatives have the time that they need to work on these projects, it's going to be a lot of like, oh, hey, this might make money. Green light this, green light this, green light this. There's going to be a lot of
Yep. You're gonna be
studio
the shaper
greenlit
all over again.
projects, not passion projects, which is sometimes that works, but oftentimes we've seen it does not. It just
Let me explain to
It
you
would
why.
just be the JPEG mess all over again.
I actually think that this is one of the times Netflix would have benefited, because get this, Netflix has a outlet for proper movie distribution within their streaming service, meaning that some of those movies, those passion projects that could not fit in a theatrical window, would still come out. They would just put them through streaming, meaning that all of the issues that they have, because Paramount's a shit site. They've already said that Paramount and HBO Max would merge together into one streaming platform. That's another disaster, because that means job loss. That is massive job loss by putting those two things together. And we see that Disney can't even figure it out. They're still trying to figure it out between Disney and Hulu. They can't seem to get it figured out.
Yeah.
So think about how it's going to look for Warner Brothers Discovery, then Paramount. So all of those things are put together. They're going to have HBO, HBO Max, Warner Brothers Film Studio, DC Studios, CNN, Paramount Pictures, CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, and then all of the other stuff they own. There's not enough room for that. There's going to be massive IP loss and massive job loss. I cannot believe a Cinemark CEO does not see that. It just seems to me like, how do you have this job and the only thing you're betting on is a 45-day theatrical window when Paramount historically has not been doing that?
Dude, I really hope. Can you guys hear me good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that goes gone.
I really hope Supergirl and Clayface don't suffer from this bullshit, because and we've been saying it this year, and again, DC stuff is the least of my worries about this stuff, but for that side, that corner of Warner Brothers, this year, those projects really need the air to show what they got to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating that someone in the exhibiting side is just blinded to this. It's really, really fucking wild.
Well, I think the reality is that this is all political stuff. It's all political platforming and virtue signaling, because he wants to stay in good graces with the administration, and he's like, if I pretend that this is what's best for me, then maybe they'll be nice to me, even though they have no reason to, because I don't think they give a fuck about theaters, because all they care about is the news division anyway. That's the only reason they paid way more for this.
I can't even say that's a big maybe. That's beyond a maybe. That is like,
I'm going to push back on that.
naive.
I got to push back on that. John Campia today actually brought up a really good point, or maybe it was yesterday. If Netflix had bought Warner Brothers, they didn't want CNN. CNN would have been sold separately. So if Paramount, and I do agree that Paramount getting CNN is a disaster, but if Paramount only wanted CNN, they could have gotten it cheaper than buying the whole thing.
I think it would have been harder politically for them to get CNN, because it's an individual thing. They already have. Go ahead.
Paramount
sorry.
was the first company to bend the knee, right? They were
Yes.
the first one to pay off.
Yeah,
the
so they
administration.
paid Trump a bunch of money when the
Right.
first merger happened with Skydance and Paramount because of the 60 Minutes interview. And so
he got that, and then he got CBS to
Yes.
bend over.
yes.
Why, like to me, and again, Joe has his point of view, but like to me, that notion of like this being favorable to what's happening and the boneheads in charge, it's not out of the realm of possibility, and especially this year is a very pivotal year to see where the next few years, how hard and how long the swing is going to be.
I'm not disagreeing with that. They want CNN, and when they get CNN, it's going to be a disaster. But if they only wanted CNN, if CNN was the end game, they could have gotten CNN without Warner Brothers, and they could have gotten it a lot cheaper, because Warner Brothers was going to sell it off for parts anyway, and Netflix didn't want the TV networks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably agree in the middle. Like, I think anyone and their mom would want these IPs, right? These are the biggest IPs in the world. Simply. Like, these are, like, some of the most popular fictional characters.
Yeah.
of all time. So like I imagine it was a bonus being like, oh yeah, we get this propaganda network and also Batman.
I actually, so I just did a little bit of digging while we were sitting here, and it seems like they didn't want to risk Netflix deciding they wanted CNN. Because if Netflix would have said, hey, we'll take CNN as well after they were approved for everything, then that would have left Paramount out in the cold. They wouldn't have been able to get CNN. So they had to take it all to get that because they didn't want to wait. Think about this. If Netflix would have said, hey, we're going to give you $85 billion, we don't want CNN, and then they approve it, and then Warner Brothers is like, hey, for another $5 billion you can have CNN, we just don't want it, we don't want to like try and sell it separately. They probably would have taken it and just dissolved it, and it would have just went away because it was just an extra $5 billion for everything else. But that's something that I believe Paramount didn't want to risk. They didn't want to wait, because if they did, they might have lost CNN. So I think that they paid more than market value. Keep in mind, they paid more than market value for Warner Brothers Discovery. And we're going to talk in a second about how much debt they have now.
They're in debt, right?
Yeah.
No, that's the very next topic. I just have you guys to understand. You have to understand, they purchased this taking on massive amounts of debts. And when I tell you how much it is, your mind is going to be blown, and it might possibly keep them from buying the company. So it's a pretty big deal.
Well, to Darren's point earlier about having all those, about how, yes, anybody would go for, this studio because, we get all these popular IPs. Maybe this is pessimistic, maybe it's not, but I wonder if, they looked at that and went, hey, this A, B, and C popular IP right here, that looks like a pretty damn good signing bonus. Like, I wonder if that was any of their mindsets going into it.
Like even when the Netflix thing happened, people like why would Netflix do this? I was like, why wouldn't they do it? Like, any company would love. And again, DC hasn't utilized their stuff as much as they should, but when you have Harry Potter and Looney Tunes and DC and Godzilla, these are some of the most iconic characters that have ever hit the screen.
We're going to see Warner Brothers Apocalypse Part 2, because once they get all this stuff, they're going to start writing a lot of stuff off, and they're going to start selling off bits and pieces because they are in massive debt. And we'll get to that in a second. Naruto here with a $5 super chat said, I saw creators can now reply to YouTube comments with audio comments. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Yep. It's not just creators. Anybody who has a YouTube channel now that they've had for more than a month can reply to comments. So luckily I haven't seen a lot of that in the comment section.
There's a time limit, right? Can someone
just
go on
and slow down?
Yeah,
I don't want to use it. I don't even want to know. It's
when you comment, you have 100 to 200 characters you can use.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's probably also a 60-second message or whatever. I don't want someone giving me an audiobook long message.
I don't want to hear someone's autobiography.
I actually think people prefer typing because it's easier to scroll and read than it is to stop and listen to somebody saying something. So
I'm not,
because I usually look at comments while I'm listening to the video. So I'm not going to pause the video to hear somebody's audio comment.
Right.
But anyway. Look, okay, here's the thing. If you guys want to leave audio comments, I will play them on a video. I'll say, here's what people said. So I know I'm asking for trouble with that. But anyway. Enter in here with the $5 New Zealand super chat. Thank you so much. Is Netflix playing a really long game by Paramount after they go bankrupt buying Warner Brothers? I doubt it, but who knows? So here's the thing. They actually made money off of this.
Yeah.
They made something like $9 billion from simply walking away that Paramount had to pay to them. So Paramount has to pay them $9 billion on top of the $110 billion that it's paying to Warner Brothers Discovery.
Eric, did you hear the comment David Zaslav made today? Or maybe it was a couple days ago. I don't know.
Just tell me, refresh my memory.
He made a comment that this might not go through. He said this might not go through, and we'll still collect $7 billion.
Yes, it was a hidden mic moment thing where he was called on a hot mic or something like that. Yeah, because there's a high probability, especially with this new rating that they've gotten on their credit, that they don't have the money. Also, Larry Ellison, who is the father of David Ellison, who owns TikTok or Oracle, basically, doesn't have enough money to put his in on it. So they have the $110 billion they're supposed to owe. a portion of that, around 30 billion of it, is supposed to come from from David and his father, and he doesn't have the money.
And I don't think Netflix could just go back, right? Like,
No.
like they can't be like, oh, actually, like, you know, do you want to buy us now? Like, they'd be like, no.
If
What?
they were,
Like,
here's the
no.
problem: if this falls through, it's going to put Warner Brothers on the sale rack. Basically, they're going, like, all the money that they've made in stocks. Which, by the way, we got some updates on that as well. There's some shady stuff going on with stock sales with Warner Brothers and David Zaslav. We'll get to that in a moment. But essentially, if this falls through, it's going to downgrade the value of Warner Brothers, because people are going to be like, well, if she broke up with you, then why do I want to date you? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's going to happen. And so, and then we got Staggervore here with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. We're 3 out of 5 in the Reloaded channel. Thank you guys. If this deal goes through, then the new company will house two Dexters. Those two being the serial killer and the boy genius. Oh my god!
Dude,
Crossover of it. Let's go.
depending on how this goes, I really want Adam McKay to do a film based on this thing with between Netflix, Paramount, and Warner Brothers. Like, imagine the stuff we got out of The Big Short and Vice, but in Hollywood. Like, oh, I would want that.
Imagine the sort of documentary this would make.
By the way, everything that's going on overseas right now with this mess that our president's gotten us into is going to cost us money, because Saudi is not happy with us right now. Qatar is not happy with us right now. UAE is not happy with us right now. And they could decide to pull that money. And that's the bulk of the money that they're using to buy Warner Brothers.
That's what it is, Eric. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the same president that said no new war? Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get a kick out of the Snyder Bros, who think that because the Saudis are involved, they want the Snyderverse is coming back.
Oh yeah,
like they really think that in Saudi Arabia, their top concern is getting like a Henry Cavill Superman movie. Like that's really
they're worried about that, while there's literal like people being shot at and missiles being fired in their backyard. Let's get Henry Cavill back. Anyway, so here it says in the article, Paramount downgraded to junk status by Fitch, put on negative credit watch over $110 billion Warner Brothers deal. And they're doing this because they're taking on a massive amount of debt. Now, what this means is that they have now been listed as riskier and more likely to struggle or not even possibly be able to pay back any of their loans. Credit agencies score how safe these bonds are: investment grade, which is relatively safe, and junk, which is extremely risky. Extremely risky. They were already sitting, before this happened, at a BBB negative, which is barely safe. And now they've lost a B, and now they're BB positive, meaning they've been dropped down to another tier, and they're at the very top of that extremely high risk tier. So it's technically junk. So now they're going to have a harder time getting lenders to give them any sort of credit for anything. Borrowing money has a high investment rate. Wait till I tell you how much they're paying back in interest per year on this sale. Wait until you hear this. Investors are extremely nervous, and the company has no more financial flexibility. This actually happened specifically because of the deal with Warner Brothers. Now it's a $110 billion deal. Here's where they're pulling the numbers in. Well, actually, let's talk about their debt first. Hold on. So they will be $79 billion in net debt after the deal. Okay. An additional $54 billion tied directly to the financing. So there you go, 79 and 54 together. Okay. They're also going to be paying $5 billion per year in interest payments, which could go up because they're now in the risky category. So we can see that percentage.
For anybody who's bad at math.
By the way, also, before they even got this interest they have now, or this debt they had $14 billion in debt because of Paramount. So they were already in debt before they ever even tried to make this purchase, which is why it's so fucking crazy that the government is just like, yeah, we're good with it. You do realize they're probably not going to be able to pay this back.
Yeah.
This is an astronomical number. So the rating agencies are worried there's too much debt. The media industry is already struggling. Movie theaters are struggling. So they're buying a company that's primarily a movie company.
Yep.
Streaming is expensive now because of all the different contenders. And the general cash flow for theatrical releases isn't great. Let's just be real. It's not. And what this means is they're going to have to do massive layoffs. We know this for a fact.
Yep.
They're going to have to sell assets. They're going to have fewer projects. I reported on this the other day that they are now actively not green lighting projects. So there are things that were already approved that are now sitting and waiting on Warner Brothers' side because they don't know what it's going to look like on the other side of this deal. So stuff isn't getting made in the Warner Brothers department. So that means fewer projects in general, not just because of that, but because we're talking about a massive amount of IP that they're taking on. Canceling stuff. I expect TV shows to be canceled en masse leading into this. And not to mention the cost that they're going to have to do to consolidate studios. Because even though people are like, well, that's cost cutting, it's also expensive. It's expensive to do upfront before you ever save the money. And Netflix executives warned them that this merger would lead to all of these large job cuts across Hollywood. They talked about this a couple weeks ago. They would not be doing any of this stuff. None of this would be happening with Netflix. If Netflix had to lay people off, it might be a few people here and there, but most of this stuff would be absolutely fine with Netflix. So we're going to have, this is what we're dealing with. Paramount Plus, HBO Max, CBS, CNN, and their movie studios, not counting all the individual things they have under that umbrella of the movie studios. This is bad. This could lead to them not being able to make the sale happen. Just because of this alone. Thoughts on this? Anybody?
You know, the shareholders still haven't voted on it. It would be lovely if they just voted against it and ended this real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope this... Because I think if the deal does go through, and then they fall apart, that is worst case scenario for just the industry as a whole. If all the IPs connected to both Paramount and Warner Brothers, you know, they filed for bankruptcy, or again, I'm not a business person. I don't know what happened, but like if they just cannot contain the weights and they fall over on themselves, that's like the worst case scenario, I'd say. I don't know. It's like $110 billion is an unfathomable amount of money. Like I can't even like comprehend that amount of money. And for a movie studio, like how do you even begin to pay that off? Like how do you even... No amount of movies can put a dent into that kind of a number.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, we know that California's attorney general is poised to take them to court over this because most people in the chat are agreeing. All the unions are against this. There's not one union that has come out and supported this because they know that it will lead to a net job loss for actors and writers and directors. So they're not going to be for this. I will stand by the fact that I think Warner Brothers should have stayed a separate studio. Like, that's just the way it should have been.
Because then more studios, you just get more stuff and more of a wider net to just let people play in.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If the deal falls through, Paramount has to pay Warner Brothers Discovery $9 billion. So that's what David Zaslav was saying. Even if this falls through, they still make $9 billion. It's crazy.
So they win either way.
Yeah. Eric, do you think queer actors who should be... Wait. Eric, do you think queer actors who should be only ones who play... What? Do you think queer actors who should be the only ones who play queer roles? That would be absolutely illegal to tell people they can't play a role because of their sexuality. So it doesn't really matter what I think about it. It's illegal. You can't hire someone or tell someone no because of their sexuality. But I do think that whoever you hire, someone from a represented community should be there to make things more authentic so you understand the role you're playing, which is why when people have these consultation firms that everybody freaked out about. They're like, oh, Sweet Baby Inc. is XYZ. No, they come in to make things more authentic so that when people do hire someone or write a story that comes from a place where they don't know about those communities, they get authentic information. So
they're still bad when it comes to meddling, and I mean Sweet Baby in particular is still bad when it comes to meddling.
Well, if you're talking about individual people employed by the company, yes, there were some people in that company that were doing a bunch of bad shit, like saying a bunch of dumb shit. But I actually think
the fact that on certain projects that they help with, they themselves, not the people that they're coming in to help, because, you know, again, consultation group, they're coming in and they have 13 writers attached to a project, and then it's like, oh, no wonder the narrative of this thing was a jumbled mess.
Yeah, but I like I said, I think consultation firms that focus on what they're there to do are there to make the thing more authentic. Because if you were to write a story about people from, like, you know, another part of the world that you have no information on, you could easily be offensive to that community by writing something that doesn't make any sense. So you want to hire a firm that does that work for you to make sure that you don't make that mistake. That's what they're supposed to do. If they're doing things other than that, then that's on the fault of the people that hired them, not them, right? Because, I mean, like, if you were the one that hired Sweet Baby Inc. and they came in and fucked over your project, you're the one that hired them. So why are they at fault? You hired them to do the job. You could have told them no. Right?
Yes, but
I mean, logically speaking, like, if I hire someone to come in and renovate my house and they do a fucked up job on the house, like if I'm flipping a house, then yeah, they might have fucked it up, but I'm the one that hired them. So it's ultimately my responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, like, if you don't want a firm to come in and work for you, just don't hire a firm. Like, make your game and don't hire a firm. I don't know. That's how I see it. But I do know that Sweet Baby Inc. had a bunch of people that work for them that were going online and being like fighting with people and stuff like that. I don't think any company should have someone necessarily engaging in, like, fighting with trolls. I think that's a bad idea for any company at all. But getting back to his comment, I think anybody can play any role as long as they're given the proper tools to make it work. However, getting back to this, David Zaslav sells $114 million worth of Warner Brothers stock right after the deal went through. Now, I want to put this out there. This isn't illegal. Like, he's not going to get in trouble for this. Because executives are restricted on when they can actually do this. And the window opens up usually after the merger announcements. However, it is unusual for the CEO to cash out so quickly. That rings the alarm that he possibly thinks the sale's not gonna happen.
Gordon Gekko, I drink your milkshake.
Because think about this. If he cashes these out now while they're at their highest point, he can just rebuy them at a lower amount later on once the deal doesn't go through. And their stock prices go down. So, I mean...
Say what you want about this man. He's very good at filling his own pocket with money. He's always done a very good job at making himself rich at the expense of others.
So essentially, you're right, Darren, 100%. This actually puts him around $500 million in payouts from this, and this will boost him into billionaire status if the deal goes through. If the deal goes through, David Zaslav will be officially a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire already? I assumed he was.
Not yet. So here's the thing. In 2022, he was worth $39 million. In 2023, he was worth 49, then 51. Then he went up to 190, and now he's around 470 is his net worth. Or actually it's 470 in liquid and 540 including his holdings. So it's around 540, which means that if he cashes this out now, it will put him into billionaire status within holdings.
Bro, what
I can do with that kind of money.
Dude, I would run butt naked across the freeway for $2 million, singing "Born in the USA." Like,
By the way, I want to point out that he is still contractually they can't fire him. So whether they do this or they don't do it, he still stays on and gets paid, and he gets $50 million per year base pay.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't see what one needs $1 billion for. I feel like I'm pretty like anti billionaire, and like I know everyone is to an extent, but I feel like once you reach that status, you should be obligated to like give that money to like charities or something.
I would
like,
think,
no
yeah,
one
like
person needs that much money. It's ridiculous to me.
I'll put it this way: I would like to be a billionaire one day, but I know that by the time I get to that, I'm gonna be bored or probably a little bit depressed. And like, because I think a lot of these guys go off ambition. It's like, okay, what's the biggest ambition? Give away half or at least 3/4 of your money and get your nuts back and go to work again, see if you can make that money back. And like, it's ridiculous how a lot of stuff is just, it's agonizing. Again, there's a billionaire running for governor of California. I forgot his name. And he has also these things of like switching and trying to change things up. And it's like, I think a lot of this goes to like, if the economy switches, which means people will be able to afford to do stuff like go to the theater more frequently. And if places like, I don't know, California are more livable now. And I don't know, if Hollywood starts making movies and shows again in Hollywood, the industry will start revamping and fixing itself up. And we could at least take a look and be like, okay, where are we fucked up these past 100, 200 years? Let's take notes. That way this shit doesn't happen again. And we don't have to worry about another merger again. Because this is what, the fourth merger, second merger in what, few years? Like it's ridiculous.
I don't mean to get like philosophical on this, but like I've thought about this myself, where it's like,
give it to me, Darren. Let's go philosophical. Smoke some weed.
I feel like we lose that track of like, wait, what is money when you get to that point where it's just like, oh, like obviously the goal for many people, especially around our like economical standpoint, is like, okay, we work to get money if we can do what we want to live a decent life. But when you're at like the $500 million level, that's not really going to make much more of a difference if you had that or if you have $1 billion or, whatever it is. And so it's like, at that point, I'd be like, oh, I'm done working. I'm going to stop working, live on a cruise for the rest of my life, and you can have the best life a person can have. But it's like, no, I must have more. It's like, why? Why? Like, what are you possibly going to do with that amount of money? Like, there is no more amount of money that could make you a happier person. And
right, like at that point, there's not going to be like a cap that you will hit when you'll go, okay, I'm good now.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm satisfied now. It's like, no, you should have been satisfied $500 million ago. Like, you did not need. It's a weird thing. And again, I've never had $1 billion. Maybe once I get there, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I like this is what I've always wanted, But
well, they say that like obviously there's a certain like menial amount of wealth you have to have depending on where you live to make you happy. And where I live here in Virginia, they say that you have to make around $80,000 to $90,000 a year to be able to live pretty happily. That means like being able to take a vacation. That's like a family, two adults, 2 kids. It's an average of 4 people in the family.
I mean,
with both parents making that amount, so that's like 180,000 a year.
Also, whoever says that is going to have a different opinion or stance on.
Well, I think the cost is like the high end, like the highest end person, right? So you could probably be happy with less, but they're saying that like the people that are the most wealthy in the middle of the pack say that this is how much money they need to be happy. I think that's what they're saying essentially.
Oh, I just saw Dalton's comment up there.
Which one?
Talking about where he would go as a billionaire.
Oh, Leanne,
I got a chuckle out of me.
But what I'm saying though is that when you reach a certain amount of wealth, it becomes nothing, right? When you are a billionaire, you simply want something and you get it. That's typically how it works. Yeah. Which is why it's so hard for these guys to struggle around these large purchases because they have so much money. Like if you're somebody that made, I can almost guarantee anybody on this panel, if you made, I don't know, $500,000 a year, you would have no complaints about life, really.
Oh no!
With
Oh yeah,
$500,000 a year,
dude. I would be, man. I would be more committed to doing YouTube, doing all this stuff. I wouldn't be sweating the bills. Hell, if that happened now, I'd probably hit up Jake and Darren and you guys be like, all right, what's the nearest airport near you guys? Okay, I'm going there tomorrow. Bring the beer.
But that's what I mean. I think most people who would come into that money would understand and respect that level of money, right? But these guys that are super duper rich, they don't care about other people.
What's that quote from?
They've already gotten so big, they're like, oh, what's one more?
But it begs the question: what drives them? What drives them? Like, if you were David Zaslav, wouldn't you have retired 10 years ago?
Yeah.
But no, they keep going.
Yep.
So how's everyone doing?
It's weird, man. Every time I think we can't get any more stupider as a society, they're like, watch this.
You remember who's sitting in the chair?
Yeah, and again, it's like, come on, man. Like, I feel bad for SNL because they're like, damn. Each week they're like, damn, we can't get funnier or weirder. What the fuck, man?
I mean, hell, we keep giving them free material at this point.
Yeah,
The Boys has already wrapped filming because they would have had a lot to work with.
What is it?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, thank God.
Oh shit! Oh man. That might actually convince me to watch the show again.
Thank God for movies and like stuff like Project Hail Mary or like Mall Shadow or all this stuff that I'm like, okay, that's the reason why I gotta like stay awake and like not work too much. I'm like, I gotta get to that. I gotta make a video about it. And it's like, it's stupid to think that you would seek solace and like, that sounds so corny, but like freedom to do a fucking YouTube video in this day and age is like, oh, please give me something to talk about other than the same shit over and over. So yeah, and again, depending on this process with this buyout or this potential like merger, it's like, I wonder what it's gonna be like when we hit November. I wonder what it's gonna be like.
I personally think I don't think it's gonna happen.
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, David. He kept calling Daddy, and Daddy said, "Which toy you want?" Somebody said it. They threw out the Willy Wonka reference. What's her name? The fucking
Luca.
Yeah, someone threw out that reference. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Yep. And to like go to your thing, or like 30 minutes ago, Ronan, that I didn't get the chance to. Like you were worried about Supergirl and Clayface. And even if this does go through, let's say tomorrow they're like, all right, it's happening. We're going through with it. I think we're good for this year. I think at least most of 2026, if not all, are going to be okay and probably run as normally.
Okay.
2027 is where I'm kind of like, okay. But what I will say is I do think it's going to be a big watch this space. I said this in my Discord last night, where it's like, I think if Paramount does acquire it, they're going to be looking at Supergirl. They're going to be looking at Clayface being like, those profitable? Is this universe making money? It is? Okay, we're going to keep going. Like, James going to just do your thing. If they don't, they might be like, maybe we'll go a different direction, which...
But you can't reboot it again. You can't reboot it again because that'll do worse. That'll do worse. So it's like, even if these fail, you have to fix it in universe.
I think if it failed, and like we talked about this last year before we got Superman, I think there's two options. One, solo projects. Batman movie, solo Batman, solo Superman, solo Green Lantern, like no universe at all. Or you sell DC. You sell DC for an insane amount of money. Which, I don't know if that would be better or worse. I don't know if
What did I miss?
We're talking about what... if Paramount gets DC, what they'll do and how they'll handle it.
One of the things I was going to talk about before we actually move on.
Let me mimic the internet for 1 quick second.
Okay.
What's going to happen to Batman the Pump 2, man? What the fuck is Batman? The fuck is happening, man? Robert, Pattinson, man. Is something in the way? I mean, for real?
Can I respond to 1986 Nick? He says, I don't want Paramount to be in charge of the Babylon 5 revival. That's not what
Ooh.
sci-fi spaceship with multiple communities is about. I don't think the Babylon 5 revival stands a ghost of a chance of ever happening if Paramount takes over, because what is Paramount's motivation to revive Babylon 5 when they own Star Trek?
Yeah. They're not going to put out competing stuff when they're already hurting for money. Again, I read the numbers for everybody. They're going to be bleeding out, essentially, after they make this purchase. Which I will say, this is a positive, okay? And I still stand by this. Things like Star Trek, things like any of the big IPs that they have are most likely safe simply because they need the money. Mm-hmm. Meaning that they're going to have to use those to make money. What we would say goodbye to are the lower tier, less important IPs.
Yeah.
So, which is sad.
Have we talked about the potential of the streaming mergers yet? Is that something that you guys have brought up yet?
We haven't really talked too much about it. Are you talking about the merger of HBO Max and Paramount
Yeah,
Plus?
and Paramount. Like,
we haven't talked too much about that. Did you have an opinion on that you wanted to dive into?
I'm just so curious, like, what that would look like, and to kind of hear your guys' thoughts of, like, what would it look like? Is it just Paramount Plus with a bunch of new IPs connected to it? Or are they going to completely rebrand again and like get rid of Paramount Plus?
What would that rebrand be? Would it be Paramount Max at that point because they tried to do the Max thing for a while?
Make a whole new like thing altogether. Like
I think
like it's kaboom. It's a new streaming. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I think HBO Max would just be shuttered and everything on there would move to Paramount Plus. And quite frankly, I don't want Paramount winning. I really don't. But if they do, I hope that happens because that's better for the consumer.
It's weird for me because so here's the thing. David Ellison said, there's so many little tidbits of information here. So David Ellison says that he wants to let the identity of those things stay what they are. So like Warner Brothers would stay Warner Brothers, HBO would stay HBO. But the issue is he says that, but then you're consolidating everything. So it's like a conflicting idea. On top of that, the president of HBO hasn't even spoken to David Ellison. They haven't even talked once. It's like, what are we doing?
I was very upset when Netflix looked like they were the winner. When we thought Netflix was winning, Netflix said they were going to keep HBO Max intact.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off. Because as a consumer, I'm like, oh, so you're going to double dip. You're going to make me pay for two streaming services.
Well, Disney still does that with Hulu now. You can bundle, but you're still paying for it.
But Hulu is going away. Hulu is eventually going away. They're phasing Hulu out. And about time. And like MGM Plus and Amazon, that kind of thing as a consumer pisses me off. You want me to pay for two services? No.
Well, I can assure you, Joe, that you are going to be pissed again because they're just going to raise the price of Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah.
But even still, as long as if the raised price is less than paying for two services, I'm okay with it.
Joe,
of course,
did you listen a few minutes ago when I talked about how much debt they have?
Yeah.
I think it's going to go up to like $25 a month.
Well,
because they're already at like $18.
Of course, right now I get HBO Max for free. So
let me go ahead, Darren.
And like, here's the thing: like, it would be worth it. Like, with Paramount and HBO together, and Warner Brothers together, those are like, again, like I said earlier, some of the biggest IPs in the world. Like, if you have everything, like if you can watch like, you know, Avatar, Ninja Turtles, Dexter, Harry Potter, DC, like if you have everything on one service,
yeah.
Insanity, like genuinely insanity.
And Nick brings up a good point here. Warner Mount says MTV officially died. They shut down MTV, which was one of their biggest. Like MTV is a branding machine. It's actually more brandable than Paramount is, and they got rid of that. So I don't have faith, and I know that Gabe, whatever his name is from fucking Cinemark, seems to have faith in them. I don't believe those people. I just don't believe them. I think everything they do is slimy.
I gotta say, I agree with shutting down MTV. MTV hasn't been MTV. MTV hasn't been MTV in years.
Well, no, it's not that. They didn't shut down MTV in the sense that it wasn't music TV. They basically removed the identity of it from the Paramount Plus service.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, is MTV still on the air?
Yes, the music video. So they shut down the MTV, the music video portion of MTV. The actual MTV network that makes things still exists. Yes.
Okay. See, I think it all should go away because MTV doesn't make sense anymore as an entity. MTV made sense in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, they changed the name.
MTV
of it now.
doesn't make
Media
sense
TV.
anymore.
Well, to be fair, MTV's biggest success came when they stopped playing music videos.
I know, but then it's not MTV anymore.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like arguing from a business side of it, it doesn't make sense to go back to music videos because it wasn't making a lot of money for them.
Right.
Anyway, we do have some super chats here, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about some stuff. I want to talk about Scary Movie. There's an interesting article that came out about that. Here we go. Staggervore with the 4. By the way, we hit the goal, and I'm going to read off what the options are here in a moment. Staggervore says Warner Brothers has gone through several mergers, first with Time Inc., then with AOL, later with AT&T, then with Discovery, and now potentially with Paramount. Yeah. Warner Brothers has changed hands before, but it's always changed hands with companies that were not as popular as the branding of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers had a prestige branding to it. So now what's happening is you have Paramount, which used to be somewhat prestigious. It was a pretty well-known company that has kind of been run through the mud, merging with Warner Brothers now, and we have these two companies that are owned by people that don't give a fuck about prestigious stuff. They don't. The amount of debt they have going into this is incredible because Netflix wouldn't have been in debt going into this. They wouldn't have been. They just didn't want to pay more. That's what Ted Sarandos said. He's like, it just didn't make sense for us financially to pay more for each share than what we had already offered, what the shareholders were willing to pay, because they had the money to do it. This is why they were the front runner for a long time. But now we have all of this insidious money from other places that supposedly are paying for this. And it, like, honestly, the fact that they got downgraded on their credit is pretty incredible. Like, that's a pretty big deal. These large companies don't typically lose their credit status like that. It's a pretty big deal. Cody with a $5 super chat says, I think DC needs to sell and be independent like Marvel Studios. I wish they were.
But
I wish
they
they
already
were.
are.
Well, no, they've already said that their priority is not DC comic books and stuff like that. They've already talked about that. DC is part of Warner Brothers. Like, the comic book division is still owned by Warner Brothers.
Right, but the same with Marvel and Disney. Like, I mean, Marvel Studios is not independent of Disney.
I think, Cody, do you mean DC like DC Comics or DC like the studios that James Gunn and Peter Safran are in charge of? Like, I don't know which way you mean it. I thought he meant the comic book division. The comic book division is probably the least important division to this merger.
Because
next to games.
Right now, DC Studios' relation to Warner Brothers is exactly the same as Marvel Studios' relation to Disney.
Except Marvel is more important to Disney than DC is to Warner Brothers.
True.
I think Marvel's a much bigger brand for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, I would much rather all of this stuff stay separate, but here's where we are. Staggervore here with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Staggervore. By the way, Thursday night is my birthday stream. So just so you guys know.
Happy birthday. I'm sorry I won't be here for it. I'm flying out so early.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to go to the West Coast. So you're going to be on the
I'll
West
give you
Coast.
an early happy birthday.
Okay, yeah. So Thursday is my birthday stream. I might have some cupcakes or something here.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you. I hope some people show up for my birthday. Staggervore here says, ironically,
said that no one will.
Yeah, now I'll be by myself, blowing out candles by myself. Staggervore says, ironically, 20 years ago around this time was announced that UPN and the WB would merge into the CW, and here we are 20 years later, their parent companies could be merging. That's crazy.
It's fucking funny.
I never thought about that. So they went through all that. Oh my God, they went through all that trouble of splitting everything up to get rid of that connection of the CW. Remember, that was the whole point, was they didn't want to be connected anymore. CBS and Warner Brothers were like, we don't want these companies to be connected anymore, so we're getting rid of the CW so we don't have that connection. Only to, less than half a decade later, come back together again.
You know, it's funny, when they first merged into the CW, I had a friend who used to watch UPN and WB shows, and he stopped watching when they turned into the CW because in his mind he kept thinking of it as the country western channel.
Oh God. Yeah, that's crazy that they actually went through all the trouble of splitting up that network just to come back together again.
I mean, I think the bright part of this merger is ultimately going to be that they're going to bring back the Arrowverse and greenlight all the new shows for new seasons.
Hashtag hire Grant Gustin.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Wait. I think I'm in the middle of a conspiracy, y'all. I think I figured it out. Because Stephen Amell recently did an interview.
Like
So-
Bomb, he did.
I think
He did. Actually, that's
Oliver
going to be... I'm
Queen.
doing a reaction video for that either tomorrow or Thursday. So I'm going to watch the whole thing and react to it.
The funniest thing is that, like, and Rowan, this is not a jab, I promise, but you were like so not as versed in the Arrowverse, yet you love quoting that particular quote. I just find that hilarious.
it's the one I know. I was like, all right, cool.
And the thing is, it's from a trailer.
I know.
Steiger with the $4.99 super chat says, ironically, MTV, Nickelodeon, and Comedy Central were originally owned by Warner.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
I did not know. I knew that was Comedy Central. I didn't know that was MTV and Nickelodeon.
It's funny how everything just returns. It's like a big cycle of life here.
Yep.
That's the thing about a pattern, Eric. It always ends the same.
It always ends the same. Yeah, exactly. I just thought about this. We're gonna have a bunch of cartoon companies under one umbrella now.
Look at Tony's comment.
Stephen Amell's dropping Baywatch fast. Yeah.
Oh, if someone asked, like if they legitimately were like, "Hey, we want to do more Arrow," he would drop everything. I think he would fucking Scooby Doo run.
In that
straight
interview, didn't he say the interview that Ronan's talking about? I remember he mentioned something. I think in the interview about he felt like Arrow ended too soon or something like that.
Yeah, but at the time he doesn't regret ending when he did because he just needed to step back.
I can't wait to watch the whole thing. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow and record it and upload my reaction.
The one with David Ramsey that they did the week before was actually really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Should I react to that
also
one too?
mentioned Arrow. He said he would drop everything that he's currently working on to go do more Arrow.
Wow.
Who, David?
David Ramsey, yeah. Which makes sense. He almost had two separate spin-off shows. Like he would have done it. Absolutely.
It pissed me off when they tried to turn him into a Green Lantern.
David Ramsey. Well, they
made
kept
no
teasing us with it. Yeah, they kept teasing it, and it never happened.
That was the dumbest thing.
I feel like if they wanted to do it for an Elseworlds thing, that people probably would have loved it. Like having him in the crossover as Green Lantern. But
he should have been.
I loved it. I loved the whole Green Lantern thing. I just wish we could have seen it. It was just bad timing, rights issues, didn't work out. COVID.
Lone Wolf swooping in with a $5 super chat says, "Hi, sorry I'm late. Just beat Resident Evil 9 already. Have you seen Kong versus Titan X Imagine yet? No, I haven't. I'll look for it here in a minute. Unless you want to send it to me, you can send it to me. Also, Project Hail Mary budget is $200 million. I saw that, but I did hear
250.
Yeah, I did hear that there's. Well, it's funny you say that, Darren. I heard it was going to be more, but I also hear that they're doing. They did a lot of practical effects as well, and not very much CGI apparently, which made the cost go higher for them.
Yeah, 248 million, which is for an original IP is insane. That's an insane number.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much it makes. I hope it does well, but it sounds to me like that. So big numbers like that on how do I put this? Yes, I understand the story is very popular and a lot of people are excited for it, but I don't think it has that same gravitas that some of these other movies have going into it. And I feel like it's going to be financially unsuccessful.
What's the date on that? I kind of want to see what it's surrounded by. Do we have a date?
On the 20th.
Of this month? Of March?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking up the box.
I want it to be very successful. I do, 100%. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. You know.
Yeah, I mean, March is better than some other times it could come out, right? Like it isn't a June or July. So March 20th. Let me see really quickly. Scroll down. Okay, yeah. So it comes out the same weekend as Ready or Not 2. Seems like rest of the month is pretty chill besides those two. I'm more worried about the starting of April. That's kind of where my concern is at for them.
Isn't that when Mario comes out?
Yeah. So they'll have about a week to 2 weeks. But April 1st is Mario. So they have 1 to 2 weeks to make that budget back before we get like another massive movie. And I do feel like Project Hail Mary and Mario have a very similar audience. Like, I feel like both are kind of like... I know like Project Hail Mary isn't like exclusively for families, but I feel like it touches the same general demographic. And then yeah, they're kind of chill for most of April until the end when we get Michael.
Yeah, I mean, really, what's going to be taking up a lot of the time in March is TV.
Okay,
maybe it'll be okay. We'll see.
I still feel like that's a lot of money, but I do feel like it's still kind of a risky. It's very risky for that amount of money, to be honest.
Like we've seen bigger movies fail under that pressure. So,
all right. So here are the options. We have reached our super chat goal in Reloaded, which means you guys are choosing from top 3 pilot episodes of TV. So that was Jake's, I believe. So pilot episodes of TV shows, essentially. Top 3 X-Men characters that deserve solo projects. Now, Darren, do you want to specify, are you talking about all media or specifically cartoons, specifically live action?
I'll say in the MCU. I'll say in this upcoming saga for Marvel.
So after the soft reboot, what projects would people want to see?
What like X-Men, like what solo characters would we like to see get their own projects? In a similar way, we had like Phase 1 Captain America,
right?
You know, Iron Man, Thor, and stuff like that. Like,
you know what? I'm not even going to be upset if X-Men wins. I won't be upset at all.
Top 3 best superhero team-ups. So that's across all media. It could be an episode of TV, it can be a movie, it can be a cartoon, a storyline with 2 characters teaming up together. Or top 3 best puppet/Muppet projects of all time. So
I won't be upset if Joe wins.
That could be anything though. I put puppets specifically in case it's not Jim Henson or Muppet.
I'm going to warn you right now that no matter what wins, my answers are going to be for that category.
Okay. All right.
Well, just think for like us in the like superhero genre, we can pick Gen V. We can pick Legends of Tomorrow.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
Doom Patrol.
If you're over in the Debunks chat, we're 3 out of 5, and here are the options over there. This is specifically for my Cope cast, which I do on Wednesdays now. Top 3 most woke movies. Top 3 worst movies for diversity. Top 3 cringe chud crash outs. Or top 3 worst anti-woke trends in media. That's for the.
I'm noticing a trend between all of those options.
Yes, yeah. I thought I'd have a little fun.
All of us pick the same thing for top chud crash out. Like there's one in my mind that I can't imagine anyone not putting.
Well, anybody that joins me could probably pick that one for sure. We do have a member chat from Big Fieldy, a member for 5 months. He says, 5 months, baby. Let's go. Thank you for the support, Big Fieldy, and I hope you're enjoying all the perks for being a channel member. Thank you so much. Oh, Columbia Rican's here with a $5 super chat. Despite the moral and political implications, which annoy me, but what about the Halo franchise? Would it be better if we decide to move forward with it? Any thoughts on this? I'm not a huge Halo player. I'm sure Jake has probably played more Halo than I have.
Rican, I respect that, man, but I have not given that franchise a second of thought. My bad, man.
I never played the games, but I enjoyed the TV show.
I played I played Halo back in the day. I haven't played it in a while.
I feel like they need a second shot. I feel like I didn't watch Halo. I didn't play Halo, but I know the fans were pretty devastated with that show.
Yeah, Zan, I saw that last night. I was talking to a few friends about it. That
We're going to talk about that in a moment if we're talking about the same thing. So, yeah, I'll pull that up in a second. We'll read it. But thanks for the super chat, Columbia Rican. Here we have a $5 super chat from Michael DeFonte. Live/VOD, please click the like thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow. Click subscribe and the bell button for alerts of new shows and videos. Thank you so much, Michael. And yes, I've already got 3 videos out this week on the Debunks channel. And you guys are going to be really excited on the Reloaded channel because people said they wanted more like regular content from me. So I have a whole setup ready to go where I'm going to be doing almost semi-daily videos for the Reloaded channel. With different topics from what we talk about here on the Nerdcast. So,
guys,
so much.
YouTube is killing this channel.
It's killing the channel. By the way, where is Omega? Staggervore with the 199 super chat says maybe there could be a bright side to all this. I don't think so. I don't think there is a bright side. I don't think there's a net positive to any of it because I believe they're all lying about everything to get this merger to happen.
In my heart, the bright side is that I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't believe it's going to go through. At least, much like the poster on David Duchovny's wall, I want to believe that it's not going to happen.
I get that joke.
I needed to clarify just so people wouldn't think that I want to believe it is going to happen.
Jake, what were you going to say?
What
about
was
this?
I going to say?
You got cut off. You're saying something, and we cut you off. About this specifically.
Oh, about that, I don't.
A bright side to all this. You had nothing to add.
I don't think I was saying anything.
Okay.
Or you put me under a damn spotlight.
Well, let's pretend that that didn't happen. Anyway, but yeah, no, I don't think there's a bright side because there's going to be massive job loss. There's going to be massive IP loss. Consumers are going to get hurt by almost all of this, no doubt. And it's not going to help theaters. I know that Cinemark was trying to play the political game, but I don't believe it's going to help theaters either. I think it's going to be a net negative. I think that it's going to be they lied to get everything they have, and hopefully it doesn't go through. They get the pantsuit off of them. $5 super chat from Lone Wolf. Do we think Spielberg name holds up with Disclosure Day coming out soon, or his name not holding much weight like it used to at box office wise? What was it? What was the last? There's one Spielberg movie I'm thinking of as the last one, but I think I'm missing one. What was the last actual Spielberg movie that came out?
The Fablemans?
Fablemans, which was excellent.
Yeah.
I love Fablemans.
But how did it do in theaters?
Not.
I don't think it did great, but I don't think that has to do with Spielberg's name. I think that has to do with the fact that no movies did well that year. Wasn't it like 23, where the year everything was flopping?
Yeah, because everything was overlapping with each other. We talked about that. 2023 was the year where there was so many things coming out all at the same time.
The last movie of his I saw in theaters was The Post, and I fucking love that movie.
June, July of that year was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
West Side Story did pretty well, but more so for the Oscars, right?
Never seen it.
It went to the Oscars. It won stuff. It got a lot of press that way. I am worried for Disclosure Day though, because it comes out in June. It comes out in June, and there's been.
Speaking of June bloodbaths, as Jake was saying, this June is going to be packed again.
There's bad marketing. Like, there's been one little thing for it. And, like, again, like, Toy Story can, like, get away with having one trailer because it's freaking Toy Story, right? Disclosure Day, it's an original movie. They gotta be pushing it. They gotta be pushing it. I don't know what the budget is on that. I know it's probably smaller scale than, like, a freaking Mandalorian or something, but, like, I don't know.
You know what's very interesting? Somebody pointed this out. It was Nick at the Lost River Drive-In YouTube channel. I don't know if anyone subscribes to Lost River Drive-In. But Nick from Lost River Drive-In pointed out that Scream 7 had very little marketing. They had like one trailer. The marketing was minimal for that movie, and it did really well.
Multiple trailers, plus they were at the Super Bowl.
I only saw one trailer.
There was like
Uh,
3 or 4 trailers for it.
Apparently, Spielberg says that he's not going to release the estimated budget for the movie. So we might not know for a while how much the movie's going to cost.
All right.
Interesting.
Hope it does well. That looks good.
Columbia Regan with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, to add, I agree with Ronan wholeheartedly. The show was so terrible. I love the games. And I felt that Paramount really messed up the franchise.
What show are we talking about?
Halo.
Oh, I love that show.
No, Eric, the thing that I think you said I was talking about was the other thing that you were going to pull up.
Oh, with Bruce?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at that. We'll look at that next before we talk
Wayne?
about Scary Movie.
Wayne.
No. It's funny you mentioned that though. So every time I hear Bruce, that's the first name I think of. Everybody that I know that didn't play Halo seemed to like the show. So, I mean, that's really like, essentially what they were doing is they were catering to the audience that didn't play the game. Because apparently the show made a bunch of... I didn't play the most recent iterations of Halo, so I didn't know how much canon it was breaking. But apparently it was breaking a lot of the canon from the game, so...
I didn't even see the show, but I played a handful of the games.
See, I think that's irrelevant, though, because it's not the game, it's the show. It's a separate entity.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Halo's still a popular franchise, but it's not what it was. And I could be wrong because I never played the games. But I remember Halo was everywhere when I was in middle school or early high school years. That was like what, mid 2000s, maybe later 2010, 11. And at that time, the big names that I always kept hearing, they're gonna make a Halo movie. It was Spielberg, ironically, and Peter Jackson. And if it wasn't for them, it wasn't them. It was gonna be the District 9 dude, Neil Blomkamp. That was it.
Really?
That was at that time. That was like, all right, if they're gonna do it, we're with them. But other than that,
but the thing is, canon doesn't matter when you're doing an adaptation, because like if you go see the Superman movie or a Spider-Man movie, they don't follow the canon of the comics. They have their own separate canon.
well, comics are different than video games, and it's. I mean, I look at it where it's like, well, the Resident Evil franchise, yeah, they can make a bunch of those movies, but that was because they're being made cheap and trying to squeeze out as much as they could. And from a critical point of view, and from the connection that your opening weekend or first 3 weeks, viewership would go and watch that. We're saying, oh, okay, just another one of those movies. And I remember hearing the same things about Uncharted. It was like, wait, what?
Ooh, that was a rough one.
I feel like, because that's interesting, Joe. Like, I think that's a very interesting discussion to have, because I'm with you to a point, because I'm also usually pretty open to an adaptation of things veering off and trying to do their own thing. But I do think when you are like completely dismissive of the source material, and again, I didn't watch the show, I don't know how far they went, but from what I heard from friends who had watched it, it's like they didn't want to make a Halo show, they wanted to make their own show, but it wasn't like they needed a name to be attached to it for it to do well. So I don't know. I think there's a line that needs to be had. I think we need to respect the source material, but also be open to doing our own thing and putting our own spin on the character. I think we're probably seeing that with Supergirl right now, where that seems to be like hey, we're adapting this thing, but let's add Lobo. But
Darren, you know what's the perfect example
So
of
Lobo
that?
was weird for that because he was planned for that story anyway, but back in the day they couldn't use him. So
You know what's weird is, Darren, the perfect example of that is Fallout.
Yes.
Fallout doesn't follow a single, like, as far as I know, a story from the games, though there are elements from it, and the world is they from what I've heard, Nolan, he and his showrunners made it a thing of like, okay, this show is our own story. We're in parallel with the games, and so there you're gonna see stuff that is canon, like the New Republic of California and all this stuff. Is like, okay, there's that, and they're following new characters. And so I think that's the best example of like, okay, you don't have to follow quote unquote the canon story, but you got to respect the world, respect the details. And if you're not going to follow the canon, which I think already like it's an easy way to adapt stories, then you better write something fucking good that not rivals, but is just as complimentary to what made people willing to go to your meeting and approve your TV show or movie.
Look at the Sonic movies. People love the Sonic movies, but they're nothing like the games. He comes to Earth. He lives with a cop. Like, I mean, that's not in the games, but they did that and it worked and people enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's definitely a case-by-case basis. And, you know, I will say it to, like, the other side of it, I also think sometimes we need to relax when it comes to adaptations. Sometimes it's like, wait, his hair is going the other direction. It's woke. They ruined it. I'll get a hot take, I guess. I think the new God of War image is kind of a somewhat example of that. Was it maybe a weird-looking shot? Maybe. But I think to the degree that people are like, they've ruined it. It's like, he's leaning over a little weird. Who gives a shit? Like, it's so... I don't know. Like, I think we need to find a medium. We need to find this happy medium of, like, guys,
no one's ever going to be happy.
It's going to be I think when it comes to gaming, you're 100% right. I think you're 100% right.
You know, what's that quote? I forget who says it, but he's like, you can please some people sometimes, some people all the times, but you can't please everybody all the time.
I think that was Malkeeper Takamos. Sorry.
It's okay. South Tech Shark with a $2 super chat says, "Did you see High Guard is shutting down?" Yeah, I think like 6 months after it came out.
Not even.
It hasn't been out that long, right?
No, it got announced at the Game Awards, like showing off then, and then it's already shutting down. So like, what, 40-something days?
Oh, really? It's been that short amount of time? For some reason, I thought it was out before that. 6 weeks. Holy shit. Did they say what the reason was?
I just don't think anyone was playing it.
No, I mean, but they didn't give an official reason why when they talked about shutting down? Like, nobody's seen it?
I mean, I heard it happened. I didn't go dig into the articles.
Let's see. I might look that up here in a moment. All right, so I'm going to put tonight's bonus thing in.
Nice one. Fetman said they lasted 3 Concords. Concord is a game that came and went very quickly for anybody who's not aware.
So this is the top 3 for tonight if anybody wants to stick around for it in the private chat. Lone Wolf with a $2 super chat says, "Set the Kong image on Discord." Okay. I will I'll pull that up here in a second.
I will gladly do that.
Let's see. Oh, I did see this image.
Hey, Jake.
All right, let me pull this up. Hold on.
Yeah, Darren?
I dare you not to pick Spider-Man 3 tonight.
Jesus, please kill Peter Parker.
You know, Darren, when you say certain words, I feel like sometimes I just have to poke the bear.
Does anybody remember The State, the old MTV skit comedy show, The State?
Yes, I do remember that.
Do you remember the skit where everybody was praying that God would kill the boy? They're sitting around the dinner table and they're all praying, "Please kill our son. We don't love him. Please kill him."
Yes, I do remember that. All right. So this is the image for Kong versus Titan X from Monarch, which, by the way, great first episode for the season. I know there were people giving it shit because they're like, "Oh, I can't believe all these weird things they did." It's a fucking show about kaiju and like unbelievable magical worlds inside the earth and stuff like that. It's even got time travel in it. Like, spare me the complaints about, I can't believe they did this one thing. It's just so unbelievable. There's so much unbelievable stuff in the show anyway. It's supposed to be a fun kaiju story. Like, just enjoy the story for what it is. People just don't know how to have fun anymore. I like this image. Is anybody else watching this? And if you don't like it, tell me. Tell me. Be like, I don't like it. I think the show is pretty good. I'm having fun with it.
I bailed on season 1. I thought season 1 was kind of dull. I didn't make it to the end. Let me ask you this. Do I need to finish season 1 to watch season 2? Because I like the trailer I saw for season 2.
I will say
You
you're going to be
should,
very
yeah.
confused, but at the beginning of the first episode, there's a 5-minute recap on everything that happened at the end of season 1. So if you're okay with missing character moments and you just want the XYZs of everything before it starts, if you start the first episode, it's going to give you a 5-minute recap of season 1. If that's good enough for you.
Maybe.
If you want to know like all the little individual elements of things that happened in season 1, then yeah, you have to finish season 1. But
maybe I'll finish season 1.
yeah, look, season 1 gets really good towards the end. It is a little slow in the middle, but I'm excited about this season, and you can see the money they put into this. This season looks expensive as fuck. So, I don't want to spoil anything, Big Fieldy, but just know that all of the kaiju stuff that you want is going to be present in the show, if that answers your question.
I feel like you said, I don't want to spoil this, but here's your spoiler.
Well, we saw the trailer for season 2 and it shows Godzilla.
True.
So, I mean, like,
True.
you know. And this poster has Kong on it. So, I mean, like, it's not much else I can do there in terms of spoilers. We had a super chat from Cody here, $5 super chat. Ronan will probably agree with me, but Fallout is very much canon to the games, the Fallout TV show.
Is it though? Like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's in the world of the game.
Fully canon. Yeah.
I have someone who knows the games religiously, and they're saying what they see is that the show's almost running parallels to the games, and it's in the timeline. Like it's either way before or way after the games.
Wait, I'm going to play the semantics game here. Is it canon to the games, or is it a parallel canon that mirrors the games?
They have literally said that when making these upcoming games, they are going to take the show in consideration of like the events of the show, the game, which is
that's unusual.
Crazy. Like I don't think that's ever been done before.
I fucking love that.
Like
Hey,
that's
Ronan.
What?
Sorry, Darren.
I was on.
Ronan, check your messages.
Awesome.
All right, we have one more small topic, and then we're going to jump into the bonus topic for tonight. We do have another super chat. I want to give a shout out. We hit the goal in the debunks chat, so thank you guys so much. I do want to pull this up on screen before we do the super chat because I want to talk about Bruce Campbell here for a moment. So Bruce Campbell posted this here. Let me see if I can make the image larger so we can read it. It goes, hi folks, these days when someone's having a health issue, it's referred to as an opportunity, so let's go with that. I'm having one of those, also called a type of cancer that's treatable, not curable. I apologize if that's a shock. It was to me too. The good news is I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm posting this because professionally a few things will have to change. Appearances and cons and work in general need to take a back seat to treatment. My plan is to get as well as I possibly can over the summer so I can tour my new movie, Ernie and Emma, this fall. There are several cons in this year's summer that I have to cancel. Big regrets on that part. Treatment needs professional obligations don't always go hand in hand. That's about it. I'm not trying to enlist sympathy or advice. I just want to get ahead of this information in case false information gets out, which it will. You're Bruce Campbell. People are going to start spreading stuff about it anyway, so I feel like it's good for him to make the statement. Fear not, I am tough. I'm a tough old son of a bitch, and I have great support, so I expect to be around a while. As always, you're the greatest fans of the world, and I hope to see you soon. So I don't think he said what type of cancer it is, but it's a treatable cancer, meaning that it's not a terminal prognosis, which is good news. But definitely sending good vibes to Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, that was gut wrenching for me. I was going over that with a few of my friends last night, and he said that that there are most of his events that he's gonna have to put a back seat on. However, I do think that there's one happening in the fall of this year where Sam, Ted, and Ivan Raimi will all be, and as of right now, he's still slated to be there with them, so that might be like one of the only few that he does. That news definitely gutted me. And I'm not just saying that because he's somebody that I met and taken a picture with. He's legitimately a stellar guy.
Yeah. Big Fieldy says, sounds like the cancer I have. I didn't know that, Big Fieldy. The treatment really sucks, mind you. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, let's wish the best for everybody, including Big Fieldy here, who is dealing with that. All right, so let's take a look at this super chat from Columbia Rican, and then we're going to look briefly at the scary movie stuff. I think there's a trailer we can watch that's official now. I know there was a leaked one a few days ago. Columbia Rican here with a $5 super chat. Here's a fun hypothetical. If Voltron ended up fighting Godzilla and Kong, what would be the outcome? This will be fun to discuss. What version of Voltron? I mean, are we talking about the car Voltron, the lion Voltron, the weird 3-body Voltron with a samurai sword? Which one are we talking about? I think that Kong would have a tough time with Voltron. I think Godzilla would put up a better fight. But Voltron has a sword. So, I mean, I just feel like...
Didn't Godzilla beat, like, Superman? Like in the comics, wasn't that a thing?
Did he?
I know he fought Superman and he fought Hulk. I can't remember who won those fights.
Okay. All right. I don't know the comics very well. I just know people like power scaling Godzilla a lot.
I fucking hate that. I honestly, the whole concept. I mean, yeah, it. So okay, I just got to get on a soapbox here about this for a second, because like the whole thing about power scaling, it used to be fun, you know, small little innocent things. Whereas, like in your mind, you would take your two favorite action figures, put them against each other, and whoever you wanted to win in your mind would win that fight. It's the same fucking thing whenever you're writing these things in a comic book. Whoever the writer wants to win, they will win. So if somebody goes, "Oh, well, Superman can be,"
well, if that's the case, I'm saying Voltron. Superman. I want Voltron to win. So.
Right, but if you were writing it, then you would be the person that is making that outcome. Whoever is going to win a fight between A, powerful character, and B, powerful character, whoever the writer fucking wants.
Well, I am the writer, and I'm saying Voltron. So,
sorry, that just annoys me whenever people like put so much stake into power scaling, and it gets on my nerves and it ruins conversations.
Yeah, it's more fun to just kind of speculate.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf here with a $5 super chat. Jake Ronan, you hear Wolverine game is only going to be PlayStation and might never go to PC or Xbox. So that's unfortunate if you're a PC or Xbox. What the fuck, Sony?
Yeah, my condolences to anybody in the Xbox and PC community, but I'm a PlayStation guy, so fuck them all.
I mean,
said,
hey, you know what?
I got what I want.
I mean, hey, you know what? You guys are going to be able to taunt us the same way when you guys get Blade, so.
That's true. Although we'll probably also get Blade. I feel like there's a slight difference.
I mean, if Microsoft is making it, then the chance it might not.
Let's just say this, and I'll give you this, Lone Wolf. When that game comes out, and I'm gonna start doing some phone calls to Insomniac because I know some people.
Not alone.
I might do some cool streams, and hell, I might even do a little get up and be as some variants of Wolverine. So be on the lookout for that.
All right, so we're going to watch a trailer that I believe is controversial here in a second. This article came out.
The Melania one? Oh, never mind.
No. Marlon Wayans unveils first trailer for Raunchous Rebuquel?
What?
Rebuquel? I don't think I've ever seen that word before. Scary movie, The World Needs a Big Ass Laugh exclusive. Let's see here. What do we know? We're not going to read the article. I took my notes early. So this is going to release on June 12th, 2026. It's another June movie. The Wayans brothers are returning after almost 2 decades. I think it's 18 years since they made a movie together. Anna Faris and Regina Hall are back. The movie's going to parody a lot of modern horror movies like Megan, Terrifier, and Scream. And it's going to return to the outrageous comedy style of the original films before they left the projects. Some of the stuff said in the article is, they asked why the movie exists. He says the world needs a big-ass laugh. What is a rebuquel? It's a reboot of the franchise, but a sequel to the original. So it's going to ignore a big chunk of the movies that came after the originals, I guess. The original.
So
like
this is what is traditionally called a requel. It looks like they're kind of rebooting the word.
It says here the style of comedy. He made it very clear that there's no holds barred and he offends everybody. which is kind of South Park like, where it just
Sure.
everyone is fair game. They're not picking sides. They're just going to be funny when they can be funny about stuff. So it's going to be more edgy comedy, which if Paigey were here, he'd appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be discussing this on the after party in a couple weeks. It says that he referenced the first 2 Scary movies as the comedy style. He talked about it's going to mock a lot of the recent horror and pop culture trends. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me find the trailer here.
Did you see the big statement that's been going around?
Which one?
There's like a statement that's like, we're trying to cancel culture. Or
I
something
did
like
see
that.
that. Yeah, I did see
That's
that.
amazing.
I don't know.
Which I don't really understand what that means, but you know,
Yeah.
cancel culture. I guess like bringing offensive humor back. I always feel like with South Park and like Family Guy and all of these different things, if you're going to be funny across the board, then fair enough. I don't really have an issue with that too much. But one thing we have to remember is these movies were dumb as fuck. They were dumb movies. So the humor is sort of aligned with the dumbness of the movies. So I don't think anything in it is meant to be taken seriously.
Another
So let's
thing
go
you also
ahead
got to remember is that
and watch.
comedy, by its nature, is supposed to be transgressive.
Dude, these movies were the movies me and my friends would like go and try to like sneak in beer or like smoke weed and like have a good time. Like this is the shit you go to like just relax and whatnot.
You
Like,
weren't the only ones.
yeah.
Yeah. What is it? What did you send me over here? The quote that was said or whatever?
I'm guilty.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
it says here in the quote that you sent me, we're trying to bring back laughter. This is about bringing back comedy the way it used to be. I think the only way to do it is you have to cancel the cancel culture. I also want to point out, and I'm not going to do this as like as brownie points for Marlon Wayans, but Marlon is very supportive of the trans community and the gay community. So he is, at least in that regard, very active and vocal about how he feels. So just keep that in mind, I guess, when it comes to this, that maybe we should see what the end result is going to be before we jump to any conclusions. I know there's a joke in the trailer that doesn't land. I'll talk about that after we watch the trailer. Anyway, here we go.
Guess who's back?
Shit.
Back again.
My God! He stabbed her! Not her! My pronouns are they, them. He stabbed them!
We back.
Wait, hold on. Was that Kai in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he
wow.
in the movie?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Interesting.
There's a serial killer on the loose. Hello, Tuesday.
I had been preparing for this for years. Hello, Mother. You look like shit. Should we hug? I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist.
Oh, girl, I think all white people are racist anyway. Come here.
Okay. Oh.
That's good.
Oh, damn
We're here
it.
to tell of a Halloween party. We're here to drink, play bad music, do some half gay shit.
Why just half gay? Sink.
Stop smiling!
Okay, that was fun.
Mom, Santa gave me a severed arm.
Be sure to thank him.
What the?
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Somebody help! Help!
Bitch, we on break. So you handle yours. I'll be right over here eating my falafel and my pork rinds. Bitch.
Guess who's back?
Okay, so I know for sure that trailer is going to get claimed because it's got an Eminem song in it.
Because of Eminem, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so general thoughts. I'll let
that one about the Republican
give their
shit.
piece on it.
That was good.
That made me laugh. That's
That
the
was
one
good.
that made me laugh.
I saw someone had recorded like seeing the trailer in theaters, and I saw the bit with the little kid with the nuts going, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh Jesus!"
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't see that part of the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
Okay, so
I knew
about
the joke where he's like, "We're about to do some half gay shit." Why just half gay? I knew about that one, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
And to make it clear, like I grew up with these movies. Again, I didn't grow up with Scream. I grew up with Scary Movie, which is kind of like reverse weird thing. I'm like, what? Really? You grew up with the parody spoof rather than the actual quote unquote film? And like, I know a lot of those movies that I grew up that I still love. A lot of those jokes don't age well. Perfect example.
Well,
I fucking adore and I love the Rush Hour first two movies so much.
Yeah.
But I know there are some jokes that I'm like, oh Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I think that this is going to be a litmus test to see if this kind of humor still works in 2026.
Or
That's
see
what I
if
think.
or see if people are just soft.
I don't think it works in 2000.
The thing is that there's going to be two groups of people. There's going to be people that are like, yes, I like this really dumb humor. Like it's dumb referential humor. Some people like that. It was very popular in the mid 2000s, like the late 90s up to the mid 2000s. Some people are going to be okay with it. Some people are going to love it. Some people don't like it in general. It doesn't matter if it's offensive or not. They just don't think it's funny and they're not going to go out and see it. That's fine as well. What this is going to determine though, is if there is still a market for this kind of stuff in theaters. Is this a streaming thing? Like this movie, like think about this. This movie arguably by today's metric would be a streaming film.
Yeah.
Is this movie still a movie that needs to go in theaters, or is this one of those movies that needs to go straight to streaming?
I'm a firm believer that the number one genre of film that is missing in theaters, people say people will go to theaters to see the big blockbusters. I think the big blockbusters play better at home than comedy films. Comedy films are the number one genre that should be seen in a theater, because when you are in an audience watching a funny movie with a full room of people all laughing, the laughter is contagious and it's funnier. It is
or the
funnier.
Silence is much more awkward.
Right.
If it's not
now,
funny.
now that said, I don't think this looks remotely funny. I haven't liked any of these scary movies, and this doesn't look like it's going to be the one that's going to win me over. But I do think the comedy genre is a genre that needs to be seen on the big screen with a full audience.
Yeah.
It's also in a very bad spot release-wise. It's around a bunch of big movies.
I don't understand June. I again, I don't know the vibe of these movies. I haven't seen them. So I'm honestly going to keep to myself about most of this trailer. But
yeah.
I don't know why not a September. I don't know why you don't have this come out around the Halloween season. Is it the point that it's like, oh, it's, is this supposed to contrast?
I want to say this. If you are somebody that advocates for like no holds barred humor, then this is not really the take you should have, Jason, to be honest.
You sure that's not sarcasm?
No, it's not. He's been going on and on about it, and that's fine. You have your opinion. But I think that if you want this humor to work, stop getting mad at the people that you want to bring in. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You must like this or something's wrong with you. Like, that's not going to make people laugh at it. It's not going to make people want to see it. It's a really weird position to hold. You're either going to like it or you're not. I don't think you can convince people that this kind of humor works for them. They're either going to like it or they're not going to like it. That's just the way it is. I don't really understand about the idea of it not being PC. Look, I'm somebody that has a whole channel where I fight back against bigotry and stuff like that. There's nothing in this trailer where I'm like, oh, it's changing culture and it's going to make things worse and blah, blah, blah. It's really just one of those movies where you either like this humor or you don't like this humor. It's really that simple.
That's what I have issue with all this stuff right now. People be like, what the fuck, man? We can't speak our mind anymore. We can't say the word. Like, no. When you're in a comedy club,
what's up,
and I you know what, for better or for worse, that's your spot to be like, okay, you really want to push the needle, you want to poke the bear, and want to make it funny, go for it. That's your spot to do it, but don't expect to just because either you're becoming a hit or because you're part of this well-known franchise that you want to bring back the R word or you want to bring back the F word and all this stuff. It's like no, like.
Well, I will say this: I would probably not support it if it was using slurs.
No,
that's a step too far for me. It's okay to make referential jokes and stuff, but I think slurring people out, I would be like hard pass for me.
No. That's what I'm saying. That I don't support that the notion of like, okay, we can't, people trying to do projects like movies like this and whatnot. Like, and again, if they use it, it's gonna be like, oh Jesus, all right, that's a choice. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. But like the notion that people wanting to bring that back, that's the thing that I'm like, no. The point is that like that's not cool to use. Like it was a thing that people said back in the days, but we evolved from that. Just like and people tend to forget because of history. For a while, people used to say the N-word a lot to black people. After a while, people say, "Hey, man, that's not cool. Why don't we just stop using it?" Go ahead, Darren.
I'd be curious about the context as well.
Yes,
because I think
yes,
I watched this trailer having never seen a scary movie before, and I'm like, that's not funny. Like I'm not laughing at any of those jokes for me personally, but also context means a lot, right? And I think what a lot of these genres have learned, and I think when it's done right, when you have like It's Always Sunny or even like a Ted recently, where it's like you are laughing at how stupid those characters are and how those characters are in the wrong and that's why it's funny because they're idiots. I won't be a huge fan if they're like, oh, a trans joke, oh, like let's get rid of the I don't. That's
why I am sort of wondering what this is going to look like, because Marlon has a trans child and is very supportive of the trans community. So I don't know what the line is. My issue with this, ultimately, whether you want to go see it or you don't want to go see it, I'm not offended by it. It doesn't bother me. Sure. But my issue with this is, are they going to be able to reach people who are okay with punches being thrown at everybody? Because that's really what it is, right? Like you have the Republican joke about Republicans being racist. You have the joke about pronouns. You have a few sort of edgy racial jokes in there. You have some sexual jokes in there. Is this going to make it so you're going to want to sit next to somebody in the movie theater who's a Republican, and that Republican person wants to sit next to a Democrat with two completely different set of ideals and laugh at a movie together? I think that's a utopian concept that maybe we could reach one day. I don't know if today is the day. I don't know if this year is the year for this. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, I don't think that's going to make the movie bad. I just don't know if that's their core goal, is to cancel culture and bring people together. I don't know if it's the time for that. I don't know if it's the right time for that. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll look back at this, in 5 months after it comes out and go, this was the movie that healed everybody. I don't know about that. I'm a little bit like, okay.
I don't think the Naked Gun reboot last year. Mm-hmm. I think that did respectable. Didn't do great, but it did respectable. That wasn't a great film. It was
okay. I laughed a few times. It wasn't great though. Yeah,
it had some laughs, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But that looked better than this. So I don't think if the Naked Gun could do it, I don't think this is going to be the one.
I mean, I still stand by the fact that I think some people like this humor and some people don't. There's no changing people's mind about that.
It's it's the same demographic that likes South Park or likes Family Guy. It's the same audience, I'd argue. But I think you bring up a good point. That didn't do incredible at the box office. I'll be curious how this does.
Keep talking, Darren, but I want to pull this up as well. We got Spaceballs 2 coming out as well.
I was just about to bring that up. Spaceballs 2 comes out next year. That's a completely different genre as a whole too, because that's it's parodying Star Wars, right? Which is can Spaceballs do well in a cinema? If that's going to be interesting.
I don't know. Again, nothing in this trailer personally offended me. It's just some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. But I mean, for me, it feels awkward. If I were at a movie theater where there's a white Republican person next to me, like a white lady, and they're making jokes about white ladies being racist, am I supposed to burst out laughing next to this woman? You know what I mean? I don't know
mean,
how it's too awkward to do that. I think.
I mean, are you going to have a conversation with that woman before the movie starts to understand where your political stances are?
But what if somebody's laughing at the they them joke and they're like fuck trans people while they're sitting right next to me? You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of what All in the Family did. You know, like they were like Archie Bunker was a bigot. They were making fun of bigots.
But
however,
you were
the
in your house
Republicans
watching it. You were in home. You were in your home watching it, though.
That's true. But the Republicans were watching that and identifying with Archie, and they were laughing too.
Yeah.
So
by the way, I am seated for White Chicks too. Sorry, I love that movie. It's so stupid. But I just think that like if you're sitting next to somebody who goes on like. I can imagine being at the movies because we've all had it. People are just, you go to a movie, sometimes people are fucking assholes. They say and do dumb shit. That somebody's going to say something or make remarks about this next to somebody else who doesn't feel the same way they do. And it's going to become an issue. And I just don't know if we're prepared for that yet. We could be. I could be totally fucking wrong about this. And people could go, it is the funniest movie I've seen in the last 20 years. Maybe it is. I don't think it's going to be, but maybe they think it's going to be. Maybe it will be. I don't know. I used to laugh at these older movies because the humor at that point was outdated and you kind of laughed at it because it was from a different time. I don't know if it's going to land in 2026. I could be wrong. This could make a ton of money. It could be a sleeper hit. I have no fucking idea. You know,
I think I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I think I'm more concerned not even about the movie itself, but how people are going to use these scenes out of context as well. Like I can already see us taking those scenes and being like, "Oh, look what scary movie like scary movie is showing this and this and this." It's like even if the movie doesn't promote that, like even if the movie is about like, "Oh, these guys are idiots."
Yeah.
People are going to use it against us and like be like, "Oh, look, like this movie's anti-trans, like they're so goated for this." Or
I saw some people trying to do that, but it's also like anti-racist too, because it makes the joke about a racist white woman. You know what I mean? Like all white people are racist. Like it makes that joke. So I don't even think people can really push it as a culture war movie because it doesn't really have a point of view. Like it's literally all over the place. They had the guy. Somebody said that the guy. Let me find it in the trailer here. That comes to the door with the half gay thing or whatever, the joke they make. Where's it at? That guy looks like Charlie Kirk on purpose. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that. They made this movie. They had to have been filming this before the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened.
But Charlie Kirk was popular before the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
That's true.
And he was also a very popular Republican social media guy. So I don't know.
Although like this itself is like a Sinners like parody, and that's still semi recent. Like that's less than a year ago. So like what else did they? I mean, like a lot of modern stuff, like Wednesday's still pretty relevant and popular. And
I'm pretty sure Paigey does love it. I'm pretty sure he's going to say that. So,
I'd imagine so.
Who?
So Paigey.
Who?
Let's see here. We did see a super chat here. Well, I'm going to go back through the super chats. Michael says a $5 super chat. In defense of Jason, he did say he was being sarcastic. I think you missed that post. No, I didn't miss it. I saw that he said that, but then I scrolled back up and I'm like, was all of it sarcastic or was it just that one thing? I don't know. But also, I don't have a problem with people expressing their opinions as long as they're not like attacking someone else. Like if he likes the trailer, cool. Like I'm good with that. Like you can like the trailer. I don't have a problem. But thank you for the super chat. And if Jason is still here, don't take like I wasn't personally attacking anybody. Like if somebody felt that I did, I apologize because I literally was not trying to do that. So I do take responsibility for that. So yeah, thank you. Lone Wolf of the $2 super chat says, "Come on, one of you do it." What's up? Yeah, I remember that. That was and that was that. Also, a lot of their jokes back in the day were like. Who was it that mentioned how humor was locked into a certain date?
That was me.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I hate the original Scary Movie.
It's Saturday Night Live as well. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so of its time. Like it's not. You watch Airplane. Like if you look at the Naked Gun, the original Naked Gun. There's one joke in the Naked Gun that is a direct parody of Dirty Harry. Where he's like, if I see a couple men in togas stabbing someone in the park, I shoot the bastard. That's my policy. That's a direct parody of Dirty Harry. But most of those jokes are, it's a parody of the cop genre, but they're very general jokes. They're not set. Like, if you don't know this thing from this time, you're not going to get this. It's kind of timeless.
Yeah. I want to point out we're coming up to the 1:30 cutoff time that I'm going to try and do for Tuesday. So save the bonus topic for tonight. We will do it on Thursday.
Okay.
So
I am curious for you guys who have probably have more of a history with these movies. I've never seen them. Never seen a single one of them. The first one came out in 2000. That was 2 years before I was born. Do you?
Oh my gosh,
do
Darren.
you think if I watch these now, do you think I would?
I actually think that you're probably going to struggle to understand some of the references. In them.
Yeah. Again,
That's kind of been my fear of just like, well, I don't know the like what's up.
Yeah.
Like
there's a reference
I
they
don't
make
know it.
in the first movie that I make a reference because of Scary Movie, which is, Waza. Like, I make that reference because of Scary Movie whenever I talk to friends and whatnot.
By the way, also, where's it at? No, I'm going back, Lone Wolf. I'm going backwards through Super Chat. Sorry. Jason said, sorry if you're all American, I have to explain when it's sarcasm. It's okay. I just sometimes don't know because when the bit goes on for so long, like when it's multiple comments, I'm like, is it a joke? Is it not a joke? But it's fine. It's fine. I don't really ban people, so it
I guess
wouldn't have been a
Americans
problem.
don't know sarcasm.
It wouldn't have been, you wouldn't have
It's
gotten
over
banned or
text.
anything
It's
like that.
incredibly hard to read sarcasm either way over text.
Yeah.
So.
Jolon here says, with a 279 Canadian super chat. Where's Canada Graphs? Again, the Wayans brothers won't give a dang. Yeah, I think the issue is they decided to come back because they wanted to. That's why they're doing it. It's like a passion project for them, and it's a test to see if there's anything left in the tank for this kind of stuff. It might, like, again, I could be totally wrong. It could be super successful, and that's fine. I'm not one of those people where I'm like, something shouldn't exist because I don't like it. If there are people that want to pay for it and watch it, then they can. I don't really have an issue with it, honestly.
Nice.
Michael here with the $5 super chat says, try out the channels of the show's co-hosts. They also make really good videos and live streams. Thank you, Michael. And before we wrap things up in a couple of minutes, we're going to go around and they're going to give shout outs to themselves. But you, sir, I appreciate you giving them a shout out as well. Lone Wolf here with a $5 super chat. I'll be fine. I have PS5, Xbox Series S. Oh, this is a flex. This is a flex super chat. He has everything and a Switch. Bought each one over time, but I'll still keep an eye out if you guys stream the game. What did you say, Jake?
I said, do you want a cookie?
As Paigey would say, flexing in the chat. Yeah, I love it. I have right now, I have a regular PS4 that I still use to play Jackbox when we have people over. I have the PS4, what is it? The
Pro?
Is it the Pro? Is that the one that came out later on or whatever? It's like it's a double stack version of that. Well, okay, so I have the PS4 Slim, is my regular PS4, and then I have the PS4 Pro that I have sitting in the other room that's not attached to a TV right now. And then I have my PS5 in the bedroom where I play all my games at. So I don't have all of these, but I have tons of PlayStations around the house. So there we go. But thank you so much. I appreciate all the super chats. We're going to put a pin in this. Canada Graphs is here. That's funny. I am here. Our country is broke now after that super chat. Well, damn. That's why it was $2.79. Anyway.
The pocket money.
The way we're going to work on Tuesdays, because I do stream on Wednesday afternoons, is I have to have a hard cutoff time at 1:30 a.m. with my time, which is right now. Which, by the way, if you are living in certain parts of the world, do not forget that we lose an hour this weekend. Time goes away by an hour. So there we go.
I'm crossing time zones this weekend and doing time change at the same time. I'm going to be all out of sorts.
All right, before we go, I want to remind everybody that you can now grab this new board t-shirt. I'm going to post the link now directly to the shirt if anybody
I thought he
wants
was
to
saying
grab it.
grab this and then massaging his chest. I was like, what?
You could do that too, but only if you ask first. But anyway, this is the board t-shirt. It's the new design. It's available in the shop now for a limited time. It's going to be out for the spring only. So if you want to grab one of those right now, you can. They are currently on a sale price, so they're much cheaper than some of the other stuff. So grab the shirt. The hat will go on sale at the end of the month. So you can grab one there. It's the new design, but thank you guys so much. All right, before we wrap things up, let's go ahead and check out the polls and see what everybody voted for. Over in the Debunks channel, top 3 most woke movies. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let me write that in my notes here.
First X-Men movie.
Second X-Men movie.
Yeah. Most woke movies. All right.
Shazam 2.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good movie.
It's very
I think
woke.
the filming
Rogue One.
locations of Shazam 2, you can find them on Crazy Joe Adventures.
Very woke.
Django Unchained.
2 states.
Let's see. We're gonna end the poll in the Reloaded chat now and see what we got.
Any of the Star Trek movies?
By 31%, top 3 X-Men characters that need solo projects in the MCU.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be
I
fun.
already have my list.
Me too.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Whenever we do like bonus topics, things like this, I make my list during the stream.
Well, the good thing is that on Thursday, since it is my birthday stream, we might just do multiple bonus topics and not do so much like hardcore stuff. We might just take a note off the hardcore stuff. So there we go.
And what, you're turning 19, right?
I am turning 50 on Thursday. 50.
Now, Eric,
Thank God I have my camera off.
the bonus topic.
Roland probably just went, damn.
The bonus topic listed in the private chat at 12:55 a.m. Is that one you're going to be doing on Thursday?
Unless you want me to wait.
Well,
do you want to wait on that one? We can do a different
it's all right.
one.
I mean, I got them right here in front of me.
I know what you want to do, and I would like. Honestly, I did that topic with you in mind, so we can wait till you get back on that.
You know what I want to do? You know what my answers are?
I know what one of them is, probably.
I don't think you do.
And I want to have that conversation.
I don't think you do.
Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, the shock face of people when I tell them I'm turning 50 is pretty significant. Most people are like, you have to be joking, which I take very, like, I feel like that's a nice compliment. I don't really care too much about it, but most people are like, you don't look like a 50-year-old person. So, you know, but it actually, the funny thing was when Joe was streaming one night, I was in there with everybody that was younger than I was, and they thought that I was the youngest person in the stream, which I thought was
Aww.
And I should point out, I'm turning 50 2 weeks after you.
Yes, I'm older than Joe.
By 2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
I'm the baby.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so with a $5 super chat says, for context, I wasn't trying to flex. I just meant if they keep making titles exclusive for one console, I'm covered. It's okay, Lone Wolf. You can have every console in the world. You can have all of them. It's okay. We understand that you are living the high life like David
Sometimes you need to
Zaslav
flex.
and all these other guys. I'm just
Sometimes it's
kidding.
healthy to flex.
It's true. Like, so look, maybe I should flex a little bit. I gave my Switch away because I didn't need it anymore. I gave it to my brother. So that's a little bit of flexing there. And I have a gaming PC and a gaming laptop. So, you know, a little bit of flexing there. But thank you so much.
Do you have a green Nintendo 64 still?
I do not. Do you have that? It's right there, isn't it? Literally right there. Of course.
Keeps in a suitcase.
Yep. Of course it is. All right. Well, there we go. Cameron here. Good to see you, Cameron. $2 super chat. I love Wayans Brothers ever since In Living Color. I have too, and I think they've generally been very funny. Like I said, White Chicks 2, I am seated for that movie. I love that movie. I think it's my right level of, it's like right there, my level of stupid humor that I enjoy. And I know that's not for everybody, but
it's
I like
wild.
It. I think Scary Movie is like above that level of stupidity. For me. So like, it's not so much about a story. It's more about mocking other things. And that's fine. Some people like that. Again, it's a rough month in June. There's a lot of stuff coming out. So may the odds ever be in their favor, I guess.
I don't know if you saw this. They moved up to June 5th.
Yeah.
Which is the same day as He-Man.
Okay. Well, I'll be seeing He-Man. So
that's an interesting double feature.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So before we jump out of here, we're going to do the clockwise this time. With people to give shout outs to their channels. So let's go ahead and do it, starting right next to me. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Crazy Joe Adventures. Come over to Crazy Joe Adventures and I'm going out. I'm doing things out in the world. This weekend, I will be in California. You will get a Disneyland video for sure, and a couple other things I have up my sleeve, some filming locations. But yeah, and if, by the way, if you want to watch the Adam LeWoo Celebration of Life, be sure to be subscribed to JWW on the Move. That is my friend Adam's father. And the Celebration of Life ceremony is going to be live streamed on his channel, JWW on the Move.
You're going to be near Ronan. Ronan's in California. What
Go
part?
to Disneyland with me, Ronan. Come on, Friday. This Friday, I'm going to Disneyland. Let's go,
dude. I wish I was back in Cali right now. I'm in Arizona right now, but like, I miss Cali every day.
Oh, so wait, so I was gonna say like you could be there and then you could do a video with Joe, but yeah, you're not, so that's fine.
We meet up like at the gates of Disneyland. All right, Joe, I can't go in, but have fun.
Well, clearly, Darren is the young, like he was born in 2018, so he's like
2002. Give me a little credit, all right? Give me a little credit.
Darren's like, let's get the record straight.
Yeah. Darren's four. It's like all the different ages being tossed out here.
Gotta stop.
All right.
Guys, no, but you know who's really bad about that is Lance.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Bad about that. Darren immediately covered his face when I said that.
Jake, what about you? Give us a little shout out for your stuff.
Okay, yeah, I've got Lost Levels that I do on Sundays at 7 Eastern. This upcoming Sunday is another Skyrim stream, and I'll say this: if any of you are fans of Underworld or Van Helsing, then you might like this part of the game that we're diving into. So maybe tune into that, see what it's going to be. And then I've got a bunch of what I call bonus videos coming out that are not necessarily part of any one given series. One of them was a bitch and a half to edit, so I'm hoping it's came out all right. And yeah, like I said, a lot of bat and spider centered videos over the next couple weeks.
Okay. Darren, what's going on with you? I know your gaming channel is trying to build up steam, so I figure you want to shout that out.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get that back up there. We started Kingdom Hearts recently, which will be the first video on that channel, so stay up to date for that. And just Darren Sanctuary, not putting up a pipeline this week, just scheduling wise, we didn't have time this week, but we still have the one from last week where we talked about Avengers Endgame and Far From Home, which was a very good episode, so go check that out if you have the time.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have Ronin Unchained. Anything you want to shout out before we close shop?
Yeah, this past Sunday, I recently said goodbye to my coverage of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I did a live stream with Jake and our fellow friend Brent, Age of Grogu. And then for the next few months, almost on a weekly basis, you're going to be seeing a lot of Star Wars stuff from my end. This week, I'm dropping me and Lance's coverage of season 1 of Mandalorian. I'm rewatching it, and he's watching it for the first time. So you'll see Lance's first time watching that show. And down the line, you might even say down the pipeline. You'll see coverage of Invincible. I'm gonna be dropping. I'm trying to find the right date, but I'll be dropping Saturday morning anime reactions, and then Invincible, Daredevil, Born Again season 2, Maul, Shadowlord, and then hopefully somehow I can swindle my way into the Mandalorian Grogu premiere for May. I don't know.
Okay. All right, that's pretty much it, you guys. I will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. for the Copecast on the Debunks channel, where I'll be reacting to a couple videos with you guys. I don't know how long the stream is going to go, but it will end before 5 because I believe there is a Showcast tomorrow with the Showcast guys. But I will be on my Copecast, so if you want to see me, come to that. Then you can check those guys out after I'm done. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks for all the super chats. I appreciate it. All the channel members, I appreciate it. And make sure you go over and check out the board t-shirt. Grab one now while they're available. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for my birthday stream. We're out of here. Have a good night. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.